If you're constantly battling low energy, cravings, weight control, watching your health slip away, listen up. There's a simple daily protocol they don't want you to know about that's helping people ditch their meds and reclaim their health. Up to 88% of Americans potentially suffer from some degree of insulin resistance. The Feel Great protocol is a simple 2-step daily system designed to help your body work with you, not against you. Step 1. Unimate, a powerful yerba mate extract clinically shown to boost mood, increase mental clarity, and support fat burning. Step 2. A patented fiber matrix called Balance. Taken before meals, it helps regulate blood sugar, curb cravings, and support healthy insulin response. That's it. No crazy diets, no meds, just science-backed support your body actually understands. Feel Great is perfect for you if you have low energy, weight control, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, poor sleep, diabetes, snacking, sugar cravings, gut health, systemic inflammation. This isn't a trend, it's a transformation. Start today to reclaim your health with the Feel Great protocol.
Hold the line! Stay with me! Brothers! What we doing live?
And we've seen these kinds of riots outside of these facilities. It's very clear that there are organized groups behind these kinds of riots. There are signal chat groups. There's money being funneled through these NGOs. These groups are violent. They're organizing violence. You can see what they're doing. You guys have just indicted someone for wanting to murder ICE agents and their families. But should more be done against these groups, Mr. Director, to investigate them?
Well, I think for the American public, we are doing more. We just can't speak about it until we speak through an indictment. And as you've seen here today, these fraud cases take sometimes years and months to put together. And same thing with the SPLC. It takes a long time to put a case like that together. We have to follow the money. We have to issue subpoenas. We have to go to judges and get search warrants. We have to produce the evidence in a fashion that's usable in court. And so what we've been doing since day one at the FBI is tracing the money and finding the commonalities in these individuals, just like we would with any other corrupt criminal organization that is allegedly going out there and conducting nefarious activity. And so that work has been ongoing since I took office as a director of the FBI. And thanks to our courageous prosecutors under AG Blanche, they are issuing the necessary legal process. But when you get bank returns back, when you get location data back, you have to put that in a usable format, make presentations to judges and grand juries, and that just takes a little bit of time.
Oh, yeah, baby. It just takes a little bit of time. And how is it going out there, my fellow world patriots? It is
We've seen
indeed,
these kinds of riots outside of these facilities.
Are necessary, I guess. It is indeed Monday, June 8th, 2026. And yes, every time I have to check because I am just amazed that we're 8 days into June already. It's absolutely crazy how fast time is flying for me anyway. So I don't know if you guys are feeling the same way. Let me know in the chat. But Mr. Maxer, we bring episode 212 of Hold the Line. How are you doing on this fine Monday?
What's going on, Space Shot? Doing well. Yeah, time is flying. It does seem to be speeding up in increments. I've noticed that, and other people have said that. I think even Lisa. So weird times, but I love how cash is following the money. But thanks to everybody that tunes in. Space Shot, always thanks for having me. Thanks to the mods, and looking forward to the show and diving into all the happenings that have occurred. It's been a lot. And Patel given what we call Q proofs or Q formations of a Q drops. So follow the money is also way they follow grand conspiracies. So all these little side investigations could crescendo into a bigger network of a grand conspiracy because it seems to have all the same goal, which it could be two, which is one, Trump derangement syndrome, and two, to destroy our country. So, yeah. With that said,
well, let's bring on the first one. So, like you said, it's very possible that he's dropping decodes out there now too, because as we will get to, and as you guys saw in the little Hold the Line intro that Mac had made with the movie there with Braveheart. This stuff right here, they keep putting these things out like left and right, all sorts of different branches of the government, and as again we'll see, you see in a few of them in that intro that Mac made, but we're seeing more and more and more of these that kind of go towards the same type of message that I've been seeing, dude. So we got 2:25 p.m. on this one, Mac, right? And then let's see. If we go to 225 and then we add 1200 to it, and then we could also do the 225 as well. But I think you had this as part of one of them, right? Follow the pen, think timing, coincidence. Yeah. The attacks will only get worse. They are losing all control. And dude, this is almost like it's almost like, dude, do we need to keep like simpling it down for you folks? Given we have now undeniably, on purpose, verified ourselves to be an inside source, expect the mainstream media clown army to attack in full cooperation with foreign and domestic assets. Be prepared. Trust the plan. Conspiracy no more. We are in full control. Pain. That's interesting, Mac, right?
What's pain short for? You should know this.
Patriots are in control. And dude, well, what a coinkydink, because you had brought something else to my attention here, which was just again a wild coinkydink here that we have. What does that say? Oh, Patriots are in control. And we keep getting that back and forth, right? Like we keep getting the essentially something big is about to drop, and these type of messages coming from various, this is the White House, we have the War Department, CTO, many different ones that we've seen. But I'm loving what I'm seeing here, dude. And then do they need to anymore? Not really, but they do.
I mean, these are just for people that have been questioning a lot of things, but you notice the patterns. Some of them are just Q proofs to let us all know that they're in the background. A lot of 17s, and some of them are. You look at the timestamps and you can pull actual information, what's going on. I like that last one because it points us towards the mainstream media. Now, this past week, has Trump been treating the media very well? I know at least two off the top of my head where he's called them out. And then we're having a lot of chatter on X and on some interviews of social influencers that are going to be exposed for being foreign assets, essentially being arms of a foreign country without registering with FARA. Now, I don't know the laws with the media and accepting foreign money media, but apparently that's what Steve Bannon did to get around registering with FARA. Or FARA, however you guys want to say. So I'm just waiting. You put all these little tidbits together, and then you're kind of waiting, chomping at the bit to find out what's going to unravel. So we get these little clues, and it's very nice. What we got up here now? So
this was just a direct timestamp off of the White House one, and then this one goes to another one. So I was just checking it. Voices in my head. Shootings. The
last one was this one. That was a part of the timestamp.
This timestamp, this one goes off of this one right here. Patriotic Summer. Patriots are in control.
Gotcha. I haven't looked at the satellites, but there's a lot of satellite and rocket launches or satellites going up. So that would be something to look at. I'm also looking at it since it's 2017 20Q. So look at post 20. So it doesn't really, for me, unravel anything new.
Sessions.
Other than
White House renovated,
military, yeah, exactly.
Wait, renovations? Yeah, we're doing one of the wings right here. So yeah, I mean, you could kind of do. But dude, I kind of wanted to do a little bit of a quick catch up with you because I don't think that we got to do this last week, and I just did want to touch on it really quickly. We've got, and I think we talked about Bolton last week too, but essentially the whole thing with President Trump and Bibi that came out this week, right? We didn't get to discuss that last week, right? Because I don't think that was a thing.
I don't think it came out yet.
Yeah, so I just wanted to get your thoughts on, because I thought it was pretty funny, right? Because everybody's like, oh, Trump's just doing what everybody wants to do, and whatever, Bibi and the usual folks, Jared, Lutnick, blah 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 blah, right? And then we get this report that Trump essentially told Bibi off, and that essentially, you're a crazy son of a bitch, and you'd be in jail if it wasn't for me. So I just wanted to get your overall thoughts on that, and maybe take a victory a victory lap. But I don't know.
I mean, Trump's got him by the cojones, I think. I've noticed how Trump is preserving a lot of things based on the sanctity of the institution. So I think that Trump's got to be very delicate in how he handles certain things. And Netanyahu's a loose cannon. So I think him yelling at him and telling him to stop was needed. But that to me just assures the public, it should, that Israel's not controlling President Trump. I think that from the get-go, President Trump hasn't been controlled by Israel, and we've been following those clues. It's just we've got these foreign influencers that are trying to upset the apple cart, so to speak. Or you got Tucker Carlson, who I've always said hasn't really been a true patriot. And this was even before all this stuff came out, because he falls into the media, and the media did not call the election of 2020 correctly. So that always sticks in the back of my mind. And we're seeing this all unfold with Spencer Pratt. So I'll let you take it to this. Or is that just the video?
No, yeah, this just happened to be a video that played over top. And I was just looking to find, because we first got the thing that he said it, and it came out from Axios first, and everybody said, like, oh, yeah, it's probably BS. But then Reuters came out and confirmed it the next day. And then there's actually a video of President Trump saying, yeah, I told him, he's got to chill out, essentially. But this one is actually from today and updated maybe exactly 2 hours and 2 minutes ago, so 2:02. Donald Trump issues veiled threat to Netanyahu after Iran strikes. President Trump gave a new warning to Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu about the Iran war. The divide is notable because the Trump administration has been supportive of the Israeli government amid the Iran war, but its latest military action threatens to test a long-standing relationship between the two allied countries. Public tension has grown over diverging interest in the Iran war. Trump, facing difficult political headwinds over the war at home, has emphasized the need for a lasting ceasefire, while Netanyahu has his own political considerations. Trump provided new details with blah, 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 blah on Monday. I told Bibi, you better be very careful what you do, because you could be left alone against Iran very soon. When reached blah, 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 the call, but did not further, no more details on that from Netanyahu's office. So basically, it's having an issue over, I think, Lebanon and the Hezbollah deal, right? Been pushing for a ceasefire, writing to Truth Social on Monday that Israel and Iran, quote, must immediately stop, quote, shooting. Over the weekend, Israeli military said it carried out strikes on Iran after the Islamic Republic launched ballistic missiles into northern Israel, reigniting hostilities amid a fragile ceasefire. It was the first direct exchange since April. So watch it. Trump told Axios he planned to ask Israel not to respond to Iran's attack. I call all the shots. He doesn't call the shots, Trump said of Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu in an interview with Financial Times on Sunday, which, of course, you're going to have, you know what the initial response to this was last week, Mac? Oh, this is them all just, trying to sweep it under the rug and cover it up and making it look like Trump doesn't like him. And I'm like, nah, this just needed to play out the way it did, and we needed a little bit more of this because, again, like I've been saying since we went over there on our first bombing mission, it is never going to be enough for these guys, for him and the deep staters over there. We want to demilitarize Iran and make sure they don't have nukes. They essentially want to turn them into a parking lot, right? Big time difference. And we just needed to wait to see this, dude. I told you, it's never going to be enough. And this is where we're going to have this split between him and them. So any thoughts on that one?
No, it's exactly what we thought. I mean, he's just, if he's not gonna be reeled in, he's gonna be exposed. And Trump's right; he's gonna be left alone because we're essentially their only ally. So anything Israel does, they're expecting us to come and save them. Well, President Trump's taking a totally different approach than probably my lifetime's been taken, which is peace, and it's through strength, obviously. But I mean, he's doing it with a firm hand. As soon as Iran steps out of line, we're putting them back in their place. I think they shot, some errant missiles, and then we struck them. It just, It's constantly they're like little kids. And President Trump had an interview when I'll see if I can find it, and he just says they're very proud people, and so it's a cultural thing, I think, also as well as a religious.
Mhm.
It was in talks about our leader. Do you have that clip?
I don't think so.
Let me see if I can find it.
Yeah, sure. This is interesting. I just want to read some of the chats. If anybody else from the very beginning, like I don't know what it is, but this year and last year, like it seems like for me, time is like speeding up. I mean, I just I don't know where the time is going. Put it that way. It seemed like just the other day it was friggin' January of 2026, and now it's freaking June. So yeah, to me, it's just wild. All the stuff that we're seeing over here. Let me see. All right, I think we got that one. What are you guys and gals up to in the old Chatterinsky here? Welcome to old age, Guyanon 22 says, and thank you for keeping the algorithm going there. H. Bart Andrews, I was doing. He says thumbs up number 75. Doing my part for the algorithm, listening at work. Yeah, that was me. I used to do that all the time. I would be voraciously consuming podcasts as I was working. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if the military can run out voting system occur a couple of years till we clean out the Newsom and Bass worms. Darling USA says, yeah. And we're going to get to a little bit of the connections in California and how many, the families that are out there, but also the fraud that's going on as well. Yeah, Dina Marie says time is on steroids. Yeah, it seems like it, right? It's like the metabolism of the time is just cooking. BB wants us there forever. Yep, he thought he thought he set us up. Trump is waking them up. I believe Trump set him up. Yes, I like it, Luigi.
Exactly.
Ooh. Liz Q Patriot says, "Hi, Space Shot. It's been at least 5 years since I've seen a live show. Hey, welcome back in. So it looks like you last one was right around 2021. We lost a lot of folks there, not only due to some people not liking seeing." And again, I don't believe he was brought into the administration, but people that saw that Joe Biden fraud inauguration or whatever went on there lost interest. And then also, they kicked us all offline. And then so we had to regroup and rebuild and whatnot. So, Mac, do you end up finding that clip, sir?
Bottom of chat.
Bottom of the Chatterinsky. Yeah, dude, there's just so much stuff going on and so freaking wild lately. Let's see. Let me just pull this on over here. Yeah, my favorite interview. I don't know which one I dislike more, this one or the other one that's like the younger one that he calls like a nasty woman all the time. Let's do this here. Make it bigger. Caitlin, I think the other woman's name is. Guys, let me know in the chat. Who can't you stand more, or who can you stand least? This one or Caitlin? I forgot her last name.
Is it Caitlin Collins?
Yeah,
Collins maybe.
Resting.
Remember that name, last name Collins.
Yeah, I think that is Caitlin Resting Bitch Face Collins. Which one do you guys dislike more, this one or this one? And yes, you have to pick one.
Do you know where he is? Do you know how he is doing physically?
I don't want to say whether or not I know where he is, but there's a good probability that I do.
Is he inside Iran?
I'd rather not say that.
Okay, he is the son of the last supreme leader,
Yeah.
who was obviously hardliner. Is this younger Khomeini any better for the United States than his father was?
Younger, I think more rational, injured. He's pretty badly injured. So there's a certain bravery there. A lot of people, if they were injured that badly, they wouldn't be talking about, how we doing with the United States. They'd have other things on their mind. So there's a certain bravery there. But he is very seriously injured, yeah.
Seriously injured and believed, just checking on our most accurate ChatGPT, wink, wink, which is always wrong half the time, but they're saying that he's believed to be alive still, but he's probably not doing so good, right, Mac? Probably hurt.
I think Trump's being very diplomatic when he says stuff. When he always says, "Oh, he's a nice guy" or whatever, he has to, in the public's eye, he's got to handle that very carefully. When you start talking bad about people, then it upsets the apple cart when you're trying to make deals and change the global trade routes, and just upend the old system that's been going on. So He is very calculative, and I don't think people give him enough credit for that at times. But
No.
yeah,
Well, they
it's
just see him.
interesting.
They just see him as like, well, the other side, of course, sees him as like the bull in the china shop. So, but interestingly, speaking of, let's see, should we go? You know what? Let me make sure we got all the decodes done. I think those are all done here because two-tier justice system here. All right, we got the timestamps. Oh wait, we had another weird one, right? That we didn't really cover just yet. So this one came in again. This one I believe is today. Yeah, 9:56 this morning. Again, locked in. DOWCTO, so it's Department of War CTO. Good morning. Nothing can stop the United States of America. Dude, that sounds very eerily familiar to close to another one that we used to listen to, which is Nothing Can Stop What Is Coming. How about this one? A direct 9:56 in the morning, 9:56 a.m. Posting right here. Going right over to a 9:56 posting. Panic mode. Enjoy the show. I'd say they're panicking right now, dude. I think there's a bunch of panicans out there, and they are absolutely going all hands in. And, oh, dude, this is something, and I might want to play it in a minute or two or in a little while, but did anybody happen to catch, I used to watch him like every morning, but just recently I haven't been, but Bongino, dude. I clicked on a little bit of his show earlier because he said, I have to do this. It's time or something like that. And I'm like, oh, what's he talking about? Dude, I clicked on, and I don't know how long this thing was, but he was playing all these things about Tucker where he just completely eviscerates him, where he's like, oh, I was flying into Israel. Oh, it's so beautiful, all the green stuff. And then what's his name there, says, oh, yeah, it wasn't like that when I came in 1952. He was like, oh, it's just beautiful. It's gorgeous. And then they show another clip right after. It's like, oh, Israel's the most disgusting looking, country on the planet. And then another one, he's like, oh, Nick Fuentes. He's like, the voice of the generation for these younger kids. He's an important, person right now. Next clip, Nick Fuentes. Psst. He's nobody. And it's just like over and over. And I was like, wow, like I never saw so many of these hypocritical moments from Tucker. But dude, he smashed them on that one pretty good.
Was there anything else he shared on that? It was just to expose that. I didn't see it.
Yeah, to be honest with you, I just clicked on that and then I kind of get busy with my.
Well, I'm glad he's doing it. We need some of these guys that have been around a while to call them out if there's any good ones left. It seems like Dan's a good one. So I'm glad he is. I know he's chomping at the bit probably to expose a lot of these people. He's got to let the law, take its process. That's why we got a lot of redactions in these
this one
documents and so forth that have been declassed.
Yeah, because remember, Dan's just covering up for for everything. He didn't do shit, and he's a piece of crap, and everybody was bagging on him. And it looks like it kept my timestamp. So I'm gonna play about 30 seconds of this. I think you guys will be very interested in listening to this. Why can't I? What the hell? That was weird, dude. So this was the timestamp I was at earlier, I think. So let me just.
He knows that because it's already public information.
I may have.
I see him wanting.
Maybe I scanned forward or whatever. Was it the same one here? There was so many of them over and over and over. Maybe I clicked on the wrong video. I don't know, but dude, it was just like one after the next. Maybe.
Well, he was friends with Hunter Biden, and then he kind of like passed that off, like he didn't know what was going on. So
maybe it was a different video.
And in a video that there was a guy that does like the hacking that Sean Ryan's had on. It's pretty incredible what they can do. Yeah. Well, he had him on and he found out a bunch of information on Tucker, I think, including his social security number.
Oh, really?
And his deed to, let's say, one of his properties. Uh-oh. And Tucker admits on there, he's like, I can't believe you found this. It's not even my real, it's in my real name. He's basically, Tucker Carlson isn't the legal name that he uses. So I found that interesting. And I wouldn't be surprised if he was, intelligence asset of some sort.
CIA, baby. CIA.
I wouldn't doubt it. Remember Sean Hannity he'd always wear the pin. He thought it was cool to wear the pin.
And so does Hannity. Yeah, Hannity's got the old pin there. as well. And don't ever forget this one, guys. We are at Rome with war. We are at Rome with war. We are at war with Rome. Who is the new Rome, guys? Rome versus the Jews. The Jews versus Rome.
For the Jews against Rome. Rome and Jerusalem clashed over values with a great tragedy for the Jewish people. So we lost that. We have to win the next one. But the new Rome, the United States, Jews against Rome. For the Jews.
So hopefully that's clear for some of the folks that are out there that have an issue with, oh, you're anti-Semitic. Well, no, just like I had a problem with our military, or not our military, our government and the way we ran things, right? Like, I love our country, I love our military, but I didn't love the way our country was being ran. And I think they can have a lot of people that would agree with that here and over there as well. So, I mean, dude, they came out and said it. I mean, you're right. Like, what else do we need to show people? So, let's see. I don't know that this is a decode, Mac, but you dropped it. So, but this is maybe hinting at something. U.S. Doge service. What if we made systems better? Wait,
yeah, I think this is going along with what we've been talking about with how crypto is going to be involved. And I think we've seen signs of that. We've talked about it on the show where these coins will be used to interchange between other coins, and there won't be there'll be ledgering and tracking of it all. So, and it being the founding, George Washington, you think it's probably the founding of a new system. And I wonder if it's probably in the background right now running,
I wouldn't.
You always wonder that. Yeah.
I would not doubt it in the least at all. All right, let's move along here. I think we got all of those decode weird.
Yeah, I don't know if there's any Masonic symbolism. George Washington was a Mason, but I found it to be an innocent communication to us that there's something on the horizon coming.
Oh yeah, definitely need a new system, and I've been saying it since 2018. I thought Trump was trying to implode the system that we're dealing with now. I thought. I mean,
we're in that exposure. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. The exposure side of things. So a lot of this is exposing the fraud to the public eye so that we absorb it, understand it, what's going on, and then we're going to see how deep it goes, and then we're going to see the prosecutions. And really, this is how Trump is. I think that's his approach, and the White Hats is, and unfortunately, it takes a little long. Because the law does move a little slow, but we're getting signals that things are starting to speed up. With Tulsi leaving, yes. I think that's gonna give. We've got the Steven Spielberg movie coming up. I think that's done for a reason. Remember the movies in the like E.T. and there was a bunch of other movies that kind of Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Those were white hat approved movies that they were wanting to disclose whatever it was going to be exposed, may it be technology and or aliens, and there was a process that was supposed to go on, and it seemed to have halted for a while, and this would be the revamp of that process. Even Back to the Future was like a white hat type of movie. Mm-hmm. Quantum Leap, remember the show Quantum Leap? That's about quantum. And so there was and Stargate, that was a great series. Yeah. The movie was great, but the series itself really kind of, and it was approved by, I think, the Air Force that they did it. It was government approved it. So when I talked about this a while ago in college, I tried to take an easy class. I took movie propaganda, and this is one of the things that they talked about was that certain movies, they could use military equipment, but the U.S. military or the CIA, whoever, would have to approve it. And remember, I think it was Eyes Wide Shut. The CIA came in and said you can't do the ending, and they had to reshoot the ending. And who was the guy the director? Kubrick, maybe?
Yep, Stanley Kubrick. Absolutely.
And he ended up dying. Yeah, so there's been a lot of controversy around some of that, but also a lot of approval by our U.S. government. to disclose certain things. I think Black Hawk Down, they had to change some of it because they didn't want it to reflect negatively on the military. So,
oh, dude, I ended up finding it too as you were talking. So, but I want to get to the story quick, but I want to play about 30 seconds because I think he did such a good job at this, and I'm using a different browser here. So, just about 40 seconds of this, guys. I think you will find this very interesting, as I did as well.
Wow.
Wow, Israel is beautiful. All right, here we go.
Relevant. America's supporting Israel because it's an ally.
I don't even know what those words mean. I'm just saying my principle.
They're an ally, right? I mean, they both.
I don't know what that means to be an ally.
Qatar is like one of our closest allies in the world. The largest American air base in the Middle East is in Qatar. They're a close ally of ours.
I come to Israel and the infrastructure, we were flying in, and I said to my buddy, I was like, man, first of all, it looks great. I love the agriculture in Israel because it's beautiful. I love green. I love plants.
I remember when it didn't look like that.
Yeah.
First time I came in 53 years ago.
It's great. Israel, which is one of the single ugliest countries in the world. Nothing of beauty has been built there since 1948. Sorry, I've been everywhere in that country, and it's true. Let me get to the nub of the question, since, again, a lot is at stake. A lot of money is at stake. Land is very valuable. Israel has a lot of resources. We have a huge country. This is a country the size of New Jersey with no resources. An attack on Western civilization looks like this. It's tribalism, it's identity politics, it's DEI, it's whatever. It's Zionism, it's any belief system that begins with the understanding that one group is morally superior to other groups. Well, just on principle, like every other group in the world has the right to its own homeland except white people? Like what? JD has been subject to, this is well known, but I'll just confirm it, nonstop treachery.
You're accusing people of treachery, so I'm wondering, who do you mean specifically?
I don't know the answer to that. I've never worked there. So like if you don't work there, you can say, you can say.
What do you think, dude? A lot of whoopsie daisies there going on there? Like hindsight's a hell of a thing.
Flipping and flopping even in the same interview.
I mean, dude. I mean, what are we supposed to think, Mac? I mean,
I know. There's a guy, I think he's on like TikTok. He does these Tucker Carlson ones, and he has a certain rhythm and a certain way he speaks to engage the listener to kind of keep them there. And it's getting old. I can spot it from a mile away after repetition. And people, I think a lot of people do now. They're doing imitations of, well, I can't, the high pitch swings and,
well, they
asking questions. He asks questions like that he knows the answers to, but then he doesn't tell you the whole truth. It's just wild.
Yeah, dude. And they're basically trained to do this stuff too, through the organizations and what do you call it? Like Adam Schiff as well. They have a very specific way in which they talk and get these things out, to people. But dude, this one is pretty interesting that you dropped it. You had it at the top of the links there. CIA and FBI face bloodbath as Trump unlocks new loophole to detonate Obama's deep state. Politics is fast, blah, blah, blah. All right, Donald Trump has ordered his incoming Director of National Intelligence, DNI, to start purging officials from the Obama and Biden administration. The president told Tulsi Gabbard's replacement, Bill Pulte, that the 18 agencies, including the CIA and FBI he now oversees, are unnecessary and or too big, dude. I'm loving what I'm hearing right here, dude. What do you think?
Oh, yeah. He's an outsider. He's going to come in, doesn't have any, necessarily, quote-unquote, relationships, or there can't be any blackmail because he didn't spend any time that we know of in these organizations, and Trump trusts him. So he said he's handled a bunch of, I think, classified information with the Federal Housing Finance Agency, which would obviously be a part of the grand conspiracy that's being investigated. So you can connect some serious dots here. That's awesome.
Yeah, and I mean, dude, because we know we have a bunch of holdovers, right? And like you said, he trusts this guy, and he was part of Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, the Housing Authority. So he probably knows exactly what's going on as far as money, and he's seeing big money getting pushed back and forth as well. And again, it's somebody that Trump trusts, so he knows, he'll do what he's told to do. So essentially, you got to keep the people in there that you trust, because it is an absolute swamp over here, dude. It's absolute swamp.
He specializes in real estate too. I was reading right there. So
there's a lot of issues with real estate too, right? In these last few years that we found.
Yeah, it has a lot to do with the NGOs and the nonprofits buying up residential housing and then renting them out. It's a moneymaker. So, and then they might even do Airbnbs, just extrapolate. But they're using these loopholes, I'll call them, to make money, but it also inflates the housing market because they can then collude to control what it's rented for, because they've got that much money. It just something needs to be done, and I think we're getting there. So,
well, speaking of, organizations not having enough money to do what they need to do here, this was posted this morning. Ever since U.S. aid was defunded and thousands of NGO contracts were canceled, left-wing parties are losing in Central and South America. Right-wing presidential candidate Keiko Fujimori just won the Peru election. She doesn't sound very Peruvian, though. Maybe I'm just racist, but she seems Asian to me. But this continues a trend of other countries rejected socialism. So, yeah, I mean, is it rejecting socialism, or are they just they're not getting all the votes because they're not getting the funding that they were getting before? A lot of cheating.
It's they take away the money and they can't do as much unless they're going to bring it in from the billionaires. But there was so much money being stolen and redirected to places. It was incredible. I'm just glad it's coming to an end because it was their main apparatchik for cheating.
Major.
And you brought up NGO, remind me of last week, why I didn't want to go too much into it at the end of the show.
Sure.
Well, there was some more. It's right at the bottom. It's an old D code. I was just playing around with acronyms and I came across this stuff, and it matched up. So what the whole main thing was, I just took the acronyms and kind of see if I could expound on it. Well, Congo came up with something. It's a conference of non-governmental organizations.
Oh, yeah.
So out of that, you got the secret society, which is called Class NK. That's a shipping society. It's based out of London, the IACS. That's basically what I was coming back to. It was September 11, 1968 in Hamburg, Germany, and it's headquartered currently in London. So this is part of the NGO system. So I just wanted to bring this up. You guys can take a look at it. I know it's a little small, might be a little blurry, but
let me see if
I learned a lot from this decode. I was like, holy crap, the shipping lanes, then you got, into NGOs, and then you kind of can take it from there. And I don't want to take up more time, and it would require some digging. No, it would require some digging too. But how they can build a kind of a corrupt system out of this. And they probably, anybody can probably see that, but they all do intertwine. So if you can get free money from your government, you pass it to the NGOs, and then you get into other things such as the UN, it just becomes a weaponization arm of the United Nations, because that's who governs it, and they are allowed to be in countries. And they're shown to have manipulated our elections by influencing people's political beliefs, and they've gotten into illegal immigration. They shipped everybody up from Central or South America, and that was just one construct. And I'm sure, as we've talked, George Soros is big hand in this, and who else is big in that?
Neville Singham, that guy out of
China.
Shanghai. I think he's in Shanghai, but or what's the other one there? Not Shanghai. What's
Beijing?
That other place? No. The other one that's like really rich and.
I don't know China very well.
I don't even know if it's in China or if it's its own little place.
I'd really like to go see some of their old architecture, like the pyramids and stuff. But I've never looked into too much China outside of what Q posts have given me.
Yeah, let me see. It says Roy Neville Singman is a socialist activist, ThoughtWorks, and he's out of, oh God, he's from Middletown, Connecticut. Went to Howard University too. What the heck does he work at? What company does he work out of? Singapore, excuse me. There we go. That's where he is. Singapore.
A whole nother country.
There you go. I told you. Yeah, dude. Let's just say geography is not my strong point. Let's just leave it at that.
It was a good try. It was a good try.
It was kind of over there, and so to speak. And thank you over there to Red Pill 78. Thank you, brother. He had rated the stream. Appreciate that, my man. Looks like we got about a couple grand, roughly about 2,000 people just between the Rumble and the YouTube. And Pilled does not report back their numbers, so a few hundred more over there as well. And thank you, MacGyver. I'm not going to say the 4-digit number because I don't think that applies. Over on YouTube, dropped a super chat. Says, "Good afternoon, Patriots," and a good afternoon and good evening to you as well, sir. But dude, I'm loving all this stuff and how it's laying out. And of course, it has to go slowly according to how we want it, right? And we would love it to be a little bit faster. But of course, the wheels of justice move slow, but when they move powerfully. And I think they're picking up indictments as they go here. Besides the people that are bad actors, the people that are helping cover this stuff up as we go. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
Bananas.
We're getting hints of that, definitely, and I think they're building it up to some releases. I mean, we've got some big events coming up. The UFC fight, and we got our 250th anniversary. So you would hope that some stuff would come out of relevance prior to July 4th or 250th anniversary, and then that would help carry into the midterms. And then there's always an October surprise. And then we're looking at some of the Q drops. 11.3 has always been people's eye, been on it, whether it's the Law of War Manual this year. The midterms fall on November 3rd. And President Trump's even done posts like November 3rd. And so I'm wondering if they're related. And if this is the year that we're going to see some movement and see, what's been going on and what they've been investigating. So
it's very, very possible. And I think, we're less, we're obviously less than a week because the event is on Sunday, but we are essentially a month minus 4 days from 4th of July.
Oh, and put up that D-code.
Okay. I got this one that you just dropped at the very bottom, the Nippon, or are you talking about the other one? Because I got two more from you as well.
The one with November 3rd in it.
Okay, is that this one or
it's
the
about
other one?
It has to do with Pelosi, Newsom, and all that stuff. So
perfect. And somebody in the chat was actually just asking about that a little while ago. So I think I got it. Look what's happening in California.
Yeah, that's it. Now, there's always been the Q post. We've always watched CA, watched California. President Trump this past week said, watch California. I think he said California election. So it was like just a confirmation. Now, looking into that, where did I take this? Look at California. You can scroll down a little bit here. So it had mentions Pelosi and John McCain. And then it says proof to begin 11.3. So 11.3 is November 3rd. And so this year, that's when our midterms are. Right now, we're in the California primaries. So Q's always told us the midterms are safe. And right now, we're exposing the voter fraud. And why would Pelosi and John McCain be in the same thing as, proof to begin 11.3? So then, using AI, is Pelosi and McCain known each other? Yes, they have. They've been friendly. Yes, they've talked highly about each other. I think Pelosi had high respects. It said and McCain said the same back on her. Well, you look it up. McCain's helped was, I think it was super PACs get money, and he had a big role in how money was handled when it came to politics, and it just upended, I believe, the starting, if not the continuation, of just corruption and how money's exchanged and laundered. And it gives you examples here. And so it allowed more foreign interference. And then remember, the online ads were also being paid for by foreign entities. So thanks to No Name, John McCain, the traitor, who we were told, and I think we mentioned it last week, we were told by John Kasich that he was executed, and Q has told us that he was executed. And his daughter even confirmed that he was executed on TV.
Yeah, I mean, you can't kill him again anyway. I mean, what? Wait, huh? And it's interesting, right, that nobody said a word about it when they did it. You know, when Kasich said it, and then when his daughter said it, nobody said a word like, "Oh, wait, what'd you just say right there?"
Yeah, I don't know why it was never divulged. Was it because the white hats were kind of keeping it quiet because of this whole investigation, or was it because the black hats were trying to let everybody know that, you know, they're on to us?
Yeah. Well, if anybody hasn't seen it, I got it for you. I got them both for you right here, buddy. I love this. And again, and I got a big question. And actually, I'll set this question up for you, and then for the folks in the chat. I would love, because again, it's all speculation at this point, and there's no way that we're gonna know 100%. So it's really a guess at this point. So for you, Mac, and then I'll let this play and give me an answer after we play this video, and anybody in the chat as well. Why John McStain? Why was he taken off the playing field, or why were we even shown the fact that he was taken off the playing field, but nobody else? All right, so with that in mind, think about that. Let me know.
It's like 24 hours since John McCain was put to death. John McCain was put to death. And look at this circus of a hearing that's going on.
And I gave him the kind of funeral that he wanted, which as president, I had to approve.
Like, you're so sensitive. First of all, you're talking about sitting senators, and you're talking about Congress people, Maxine Waters, Mitt Romney, Adam Schiff, Bernie Sanders, President Obama, the Clintons, my father, you can't kill him again, but whatever. My father, you can't kill him again, but whatever.
It's like 24 hours since John McCain was put to death. John McCain was put to death.
So, dude, any speculative guesses on why were we given McStain, and why was he outwardly to us anyways on the Q, you know, us Q-tards, why were we given the benefit of knowing that he was taken off the playing field, but nobody else?
You got me, unless they know, you know, as Q clearance are giving us little inside scoops of knowledge. I mean, I had to verify if I hope everyone tried to verify if the Q drops had any validity to them. And when you look at, you know, was it the first 1,000 of them, they very much are. There's a lot of proof. And then you had, and then later you had like certain timestamps that would match up, or President Trump saying tippy top when he was asked to say it. And there's been other words that he said that kind of tipped his hat towards the Anons and those that paid attention to Q. Because this stuff is Q language. Patriots in control. Nothing can stop what is coming. Hold the line. They posted that. President Trump's posted memes with Q plus on it. You don't think President Trump doesn't know what Q plus means? Right. So the fake news media, people always bash QAnon. QAnon was the infiltration portion of what Q was. So you had the bad guys come in and do the QAnon thing, or infiltrate QAnon when it was in its, you know, beginning stages, and then create a mockery of it. And the fake news media never asked the proper question, which was, do you know who Q is, or the group Q? Instead, they asked who QAnon is, and President Trump had to handle that in a very specific way. So I'm hoping one of these days we get a journalist, quote unquote, to ask the right question, because Anon is a separate word from Q, and it means anonymous. So those people fighting, you know, love our country, and this is how we kind of started out, was anonymously online, so you wouldn't get targeted.
Yeah, same reason why I stay in my lane as well. You know what I mean? So
we're doing our First Amendment right as U.S. citizens, you know, and we're not doing anything criminal. So, you know, we love our country, love our president, and we want it fixed. We know the corruption's there, so we're fighting the good fight.
And the funny thing is too, I get the different, from different people that leave different comments, like, oh, well, you should put your face on the camera, right? And then I have other comments that people say, like, I appreciate that you don't because it's not about you, right? So you're not making it about you.
I've mentioned that to you. I think that putting yourself on camera is the old Operation Mockingbird way of psychologically manipulating you. You're staring at a face. You're not staring at information that you can absorb. So it's almost like they're putting a spell on you. I hate to say that because I don't know much about any of that stuff, but there's a psychological ramification of someone just sitting in front of a camera for 2-3 hours, whatever the segment is, and not really giving you any other information other than what's coming out of their mouth and what you're seeing, which is their face. So I really don't like that old form. And, it's okay to show your face, but I think to keep it on the entire time or, and not anything else is really disruptive. And it can be, what's the word I'm looking for here? Space shot.
Distractive?
Disruptive, distractive, bad, whatever. Just not giving you the truth.
Well, for me, dude, I and anybody that's known, that's, even my son, I cannot stand, if I'm looking at him, that's fine. But FaceTime, dude, I cannot stand, staring at myself.
You don't like Steve Bannon, staring at Steve Bannon the entire time?
Definitely not that pasty face. hang on, hold on. Oh
yeah,
my God,
I'm the same way. I wouldn't want to see myself all the time on a screen. I'd rather share information. That's why I'm here. To help people, put the truth together. It just makes more sense to me. And I'm not here for fame. I'm here to,
get some info out for sure. Well, then, other things come into the
info. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, looks also come into the thing too, because say if you're good looking, you might get more viewers, and say if you're hideously ugly, you may have great information, but people might not watch you. You know what I mean? So, I'm just horribly disfigured. That's why I don't like to go online.
Looks. Yeah, I've never been called ugly, so. I think I'm doing all right.
Twice just last week for me.
It's the intention of, it's not the messenger, it's the message. So I'd rather it be about the message.
Well, who are they going to get for a cameraman at the UFC event, bro? Any good ideas?
President Trump.
And our guest celebrity cameraman, Donald Trump. Don, welcome to the telecast.
How you doing, folks?
Fine, thank you. We must be paying our cameraman a pretty penny.
You're paying a lot of money. It's a great job.
And our guest.
Dude, I don't even know what that's from, to be honest with you. Where was that? NBA on NBC. Oh, it's basketball, you say? Really? Because Hakeem Jeffries has a problem with this, Mac.
Yeah, so did, what's his name? What's the guy from ESPN?
Oh, Smith?
Yeah, Stephen A. Smith. Yeah.
Stephen A. Smith, yeah.
It's like the dude's been going to games forever. I don't know what's going on with these people.
Well, let's take a listen to Mr. Oh, wait, now I got a friggin' Knicks hat on all of a sudden. I'm Mr. Basketball, which never seen this guy with a Knicks hat on. Maybe he's the biggest Knicks fan in the world. I don't know, but I've never seen it.
Well, I've had a few things to say about Donald Trump. And, at this point, it's game day. And I think Knicks fans just want to enjoy Game 3, the first home game that we've had in 27 years. But it also is not clear to me that Donald Trump is a big Knicks fan. I mean, does this guy even know the difference between Karl Rove and Karl Anthony Towns? I don't think so. He's just injecting himself into the NBA Finals because he always has to bring the MAGA circus into town. So I've had a few things to say about Donald Trump going to the Knicks game.
I'd love to hear the owners and the players' opinions on President Trump showing up tonight, because I know they're appreciative because they're bringing in the money for him. They're bringing money. He's literally bringing in tons of money to New York City right now when it's in shambles, and it's been in shambles. So, and I also remember the Q post where it says "Watch NYC," We were just talking about Watch California. So I wonder if there's any other ulterior motives of stopping in New York City, knowing the Southern District of New York's there.
Yeah. And apparently this isn't like a new thing. And, presidents do this stuff, right? We know presidents go to Super Bowls and things like that. We've seen that in the past. But somebody asked Grok, and Grok said, yes, Donald Trump has attended multiple New York Knicks games at the Madison Square Garden and elsewhere in the past. His most recent ones, more than a decade before tonight's Game 3 of the 2026 NBA Finals. He's long been described as a Knicks fan and a courtside regular, especially in the 90s. Reports note photos and records of him and at least 15 Knicks games out of roughly 22 total NBA games attended since 1991, including playoffs. So, then you have the people that are thinking, Trump derangement syndrome right here. Oh, I wouldn't say attending a Knicks fan, decade ago makes him a fan, and all he's doing is making a logistical nightmare for everyone else to attend. Yeah, I don't think so. I think you're still going to walk through and go through the same metal detectors you always have. I don't think there's going to be anything more or less.
He's actually got a good point. He is putting all the law enforcement and everybody in check as well.
Making it safer.
Well, yeah, he's definitely making it safer. So, yeah, I'm just thinking outside the box in my head. So it's definitely something that is definitely needed in New York. I wonder, again, if there's some outside things going on.
I wonder as well, too. Before I click on this link, I need to recheck it here, as I may have put it in the wrong spot here, because I don't even know. I think I got like 40 or 50 links for tonight's show, like at least. All right, here it is. I just want to make sure. Two-tier justice system. Okay, where was this? Yeah, I guess we were going to do a little bit of UK as well. Obviously, you've heard about that dude over there that got stabbed, and then the guy that stabbed him called the police and said that he walked up to a group of, multiple immigrants and, whacked a turban off his head and started calling them these racist comments or whatever. And then when the police showed up, he's like, I've been stabbed. And the guy's like, no, you haven't. How about you? You okay? Oh, I got some puffiness on my eye here. So we've seen all this where in the UK, they're just like, ridiculously scared to do anything against the Muslim folks over there. So let's look at a little bit of this one. Two-tier justice system, UK, or actually this one we don't want to go to just yet. That's Trump. UK racism, two-tier. So this is like a hell of an example of absolute just ridiculous behavior. So Iceland boss fumes at two-tier policing after staff member handcuffed by officers in over phony racism complaint. So listen to how this stuff plays out, guys. Iceland's boss has been left furious as a police officer scrambled to shop within minutes of receiving a phony racism accusation and handcuffed a staff member. Sir Malcolm Walker, the founder of Iceland Supermarkets, has accused the Metropolitan Police of operating a two-tier system after officers handcuffed one of his staff members within minutes of receiving a bogus racism complaint. Okay, that's one side of it. The billionaire entrepreneur revealed the incident occurred at his Enfield store in North London, where an Asian supervisor was detained by police who arrived just 3 minutes after a customer made false allegations of racial abuse. Sir Malcolm told the Mail on Sunday, there is two-tier policing. It isn't just happening on the streets. He said he felt compelled to speak publicly following the death of Henry Nowak, 18-year-old student who was restrained by officers while dying after his killer falsely claimed racist abuse. Confrontation began when the supervisor spotted a man removing milk bottles from a refrigerator, opening them, and then replacing them on the shelf. Sir Malcolm explained the next thing the guy is on his phone claiming he's been racially abused. Officers arrived within 3 minutes and immediately placed the employee in handcuffs before taking him into a police vehicle. He says, every week we have reports of violence, members of staff being punched, threatened, hypodermic needle, and knife. It's out of control. So he basically also continues on to say, Mac, when they call for help and it's not a racism call, the police don't even show up. So like somebody's stealing something from my store or somebody's been assaulted at my store, no racism mentioned, they don't even show up.
Yeah, it's like a social justice police. This is crazy.
System,
total.
the whole system.
I guess it's full force communism. You know that it was a false flag or done on purpose because no matter what happens at a crime scene, if once you have that person restrained, if they're injured or say they're injured, they need to attend to them.
Should
just yeah. So, I'm calling BS on that, and that was what happened to him was done on purpose, and it was to cause uprising. You
Yeah.
have these types of operations that to cause violence, uprising through violence, and what a lot of the false flags that we've seen over the years, near Masonic lodges, and the people that are interviewed right afterwards are Masons, and we know that a lot of the cops are Masons. So, and it's an honest question: why is it?
And you heard his dying words, right? Were coincidentally very similar to a man over here who died of an overdose and a knee on the back of his neck. I can't breathe. So I thought that was interesting as well, that they kind of threw that in.
I was thinking of it. I just never brought it up. Like that whole, we dissected that. Like half his body was missing and part of the camera. I found the Sigma 3 manufacturing plant that they burned right afterwards in the fires in Minneapolis. And essentially they're life-size humans that they would do, CPR on. It was realistic internally, not just externally. And the African American model looked exactly like George Floyd. So
it looked like that basketball player too. Racist.
And so has
yeah. He called him his twin. That was Jackson, whatever his first name was.
Steven. Steven Jackson. And I have to bump this one up a little bit. It looks like here. Let me see. This friggin' queer stommer over here. Let's get a little loud.
And so has.
Here we go again.
And so has.
Dude, I'm telling you, this laptop.
And so
this
has,
laptop is friggin'.
And so has.
It's haunted, dude. I'm telling you, this laptop is haunted. Okay.
UK. Now the second one is shocking, but this is not the age of Churchill. I will say the UK has been very, very uncooperative with that stupid island that they have, that they gave away and took a 100-year lease, having to do with perhaps indigenous people claiming the island that never even saw the island before. What's that all about? And they ruin relationships. It's a shame. It's and that country, UK, and I love that country. I love it. My mother was born there. I love it. My mother was born there. My father was born. He knows all about my father. My father was born there. So very places that you sort of automatically very feel warmly about. But the UK, what they're doing with energy and what they're doing with immigration is horrible. You have the North Sea. Somebody said yesterday,
So they're not being very cooperative in many different respects, dude. And again, are these guys our main enemy? Everybody always is calling out Israel and whatnot, but they are our original enemy. They are our original bad guys, essentially, right? So, and a lot of these, the list, did you see the Pentagon list, was it last week or whatever? It had all these sanctions from these companies that are essentially assisting terrorism. Well, a lot of these companies are based out of where? The city of London. Isn't that coinkydinky? Coinkydinky. Anything on this one, Mr. Maxer?
Yeah, I've just noticed how very cunning they are and they're clever. So they don't really say anything. They've had a foothold in our country for a long time. It's gone back to American Revolutionary War. We say we won, but if you look at certain aspects of it, such as our law, they still have a foothold in certain aspects. So President Trump has come along and I think just upended their whole plan. So I'm sure we'll see Israel later, but the British Empire, as we're calling it, there's families still that are running these entities. You know what I mean? Space Shot. It's not
Oh, yeah.
like this is Keir Starmer is like a puppet. So there's people running him behind the scenes. So I want to know who these people that hate America so much are. And we know
Yeah.
that the royal family's kind of had a hand in it, but I'm sensing, I always talk about the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers, but there's other families, and that decode, there's the Getty family, the Brown family,
Pelosi, Newsom, Getty, Brown.
yeah, and Pelosi's from the mafia. Brown family, the Getty family are heavily involved in politics. Did I put that in there at all? I don't. I think it's a separate post.
Well, they kept California, under their wing essentially, and their people are essentially the people that are running California.
Yeah, exactly. So they've created. They help. They're like the founders of the corruption. I would, in California. That's how they control all their schemes.
And it's bad too. And we're gonna hit California.
It's like the third, isn't it? Like the top 5 economy in the world as a state. So just think about, and it's rampant of just crime and fraud. So
yeah, it has a GDP better
days
than
coming.
most countries. Like you said, other than maybe 5 or 6, California has a GDP better than most countries. But yet, you got homelessness and drug abuse like crazy, and major corporations fleeing left and right because it's so damn expensive to run out there. Absolutely ridiculous, dude. Let's pull this one up quick here. You got something else you want to jump in?
No, there's the information on their families.
So
I don't know if
much.
there's really much more to add to it, but it just kind of gives you the background of who their family is and how they're all involved. Anyway, doesn't matter.
They're all connected, and this is interesting too because this talks about some of the people that are behind the scenes that are, we talk about gatekeepers and blocking things from happening. Listen to what President Trump put out here.
It's a very basic thing. It's called Save America, actually, and that's what it is. It's having to do with voting and voter ID. We want voter ID. We want proof of citizenship. We added a couple, no men playing in women's sports. We don't want that. Nobody does. I think it's about a 98% issue. We want no transgender mutilation of our children. Very basic things that you wouldn't even think we'd be talking about 50.
So he wants this stuff taken care of, and then I think it was this morning around 11, he says Senate Majority Leader John Thune should immediately fire the parliamentarian who treats Republicans and everything else they stand for horribly. She was put there by Senate Majority Leader Harry Reid and Barack Hussein Obama. Need I say more? She is a nasty holdover from Mitch McConnell, a man who has proven to be very disloyal to John Thune, who decided to keep her because he loved giving trillions of dollars to Democrats. But for the Republicans, including the wall, where I ended up having to go around him to build over 1,000 miles and close up our border, he gave nothing. She is known as a radical left lunatic that caters to Democrats and has no respect for Republicans or Republican ideology. Just the other night, as an example, she ruled against us on a proposal that would have easily been approved and should have been by anyone else. We have every right to change her and should do so immediately. President Donald J. Trump. Well, is it that easy to just remove a parliamentarian like that? Well, Scott, the persistence here says, did you know that the parliamentarian can be dismissed at any moment? The parliamentarian serves at the pleasure of the Senate Majority Leader. Thune has the sole authority to remove and replace the parliamentarian without a vote from the Senate. Fire Elizabeth McDonough. So sounds like they're keying in on some of the people that are being resistant, Mac, and we're putting the target on them.
Yeah, this is I'm forward thinking here, based on what Trump's doing, and it's matching. Like he's pushing for the Save America Act. He's pushing for, like, say, Powell to get out, but he wouldn't step down. You have this person he's calling out. You have the executive services branch, that he's gone to Supreme Court, gotten approval to fire, and then you got to think about the Senate, the House and the Senate, and the majority. Trump is what? How many wins did he have? Like 141 or something.
I know the last one was either 37-0 and
Oh,
38-0.
okay. My fault. Yeah, it was 37-0. So we're getting all these MAGA people that are gonna be coming in. So he's setting the table. If they don't get it done now, once they get into office, he's going to tell them, you guys, I asked to do this and you guys wouldn't do it. Now, I have every right to do it. So I think remember that theory you had, once you get the majority in on both houses, that we'll start passing some serious laws. I think you're absolutely correct. And they're trapped. They can't have nowhere to go. All they can do is delay until, we control everything. And that's going to be based on how we vote and the fact that our elections aren't rigged.
And it's funny too, because as they're trying to push this in, it's crescendoing. But as they're trying to push this stuff, he's seemingly doing good on here. So I find it to be a little amazing. It's like
I think it's great.
We know what they do for sure. And well, since you brought up California, let me see. Do I get that? Can be dismissed at any time. Hakeem Jeffries. We got actually, you know what? Let's just so I get this out of here. I don't remember what this was. Dude, the Trump train? Do you remember this? 10 years ago today, I guess President Trump did this, and Dan Bongino posted this out in May of 26, I guess. 26 of 26.
Yeah, I saw Scavino posted this out and did a little decode. I'm sure he'll show it, or we'll go over it.
10 years
But
ago.
yeah, I didn't know. I don't remember this video at all, but very interesting. It's the second time he's mentioned 10 years and 1237.
Interesting. Let's take a listen here, quick. All right, so it's just music the whole way, or what? Let's see. Is
that Elton
John? Yep, that is Elton John for sure. That is Elton John. Now, was this one of them you had one of the decodes for?
I just looked up 10 and then 1237, and it points to Muslim Brotherhood.
Oh, boy. Oh, God. Figures, right? 10 and 37.
Which makes perfect sense, I think, given, Hillary, is she Muslim? I think so. Brennan, yes. Obama, yes. Well, Susan Rice.
Maybe. I think Susan Rice. Maybe. Oh, that's Valerie Jarrett, I think, is Irene.
Oh, Valerie. Yeah, there you go. There's another
Valerie. All right, so we're going to go into some fraud, and then we're going to hit
Did you look at... Oh, I thought you were going to bring up the
In a letter to every governor.
Oh, which... 1237?
Yeah, 1237 and 10. Just show them real quick. And
1237. Ding. Process of settlement, civilization, jihadist process with all the word means Muslim Brotherhood must understand their work in America is kind of a grand jihad in eliminating and destroying the Western civilization from within and sabotaging its miserable house by their hands and the hands of their believers. Yeah, definitely. No, but they're nice. They want to make everything happy and peaceful, I thought.
Well, that's how they do things.
There we go. Come on. Ding, 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 ding. Oh, remember, and this is actually poignant and true and current as well, because remember, the FBI and military intelligence have an open investigation into the Clinton Foundation. Why did Comey drop this? Who was the director during the Haiti crisis? How many kids disappeared? How much money sent to the Clinton Foundation under the disguise of Hillary or hurricane relief went to Hillary? What countries donated big money to the Clinton Foundation, and why? How much was owed by accepting? When she lost, how would this be repaid? What did Obama do with cash just prior to leaving office? Repayment to those who donated for favors and access? Dig. Again,
send
good
it to
people.
Iran.
Exactly. In cash. Lots of cash. And again, good people were forced into bed with this evil under personal and family threats. Could you live with yourself helping to cover such evil, despicable acts if given a safe way out? These people worship Satan. Some openly show it. Now, dude, I'm glad this one came up too, because I pulled something aside and I was like, maybe we'll touch on this on one of these shows. Let me see if I got this here, because I think this is it's interesting. I think worth pulling up. Where the hell did I do with it? So it's the the Obama decode. Okay, it's on. It's about Comey and Brennan. No, not Comey and Brennan. It's about Comey and Mueller. And so for me, I never understood why. And again, this is all speculation again. Why did Mueller meet with President Trump right before, Trump's taking office? Right? We were told, oh yeah, he was begging for his FBI director job, which again, he was director for like 12 or 13 years after they made that law, after J. Edgar Hoover, stating that an FBI director could only be the FBI director for 10 years. They pulled some BS with him and kept him in there for 12 or 12 and a half years or something like that. But with that in mind, somebody else led me to one of these older posts, dude. This one's coming back to this is October 28th of 2017. People speculating on the boards. And so this person is saying, we've known that Holder was covering up Russian bribes for Uranium One for a long time now. Hell, even Clinton Cash tells everyone about the bribes that were taking place. The reason Mueller left the FBI was because he was fed up with the corruption of Holder, Clinton, and Obama. Holder kept telling Mueller to kill investigations to bury evidence. I don't know what you think about Mueller, but I can tell you he's an honorable man. The corruption of Holder, Obama, and Clinton was eating him alive. He resigned in 2013 when he just couldn't keep doing this. They got Comey, who was coerced into continuing the cover-up. So they're saying Manafort.
Real quick,
go ahead.
That would explain probably the burn bags that weren't burned, right? That Patel found.
Yeah, I mean, but who? Was it Ray? I mean, it could be Ray as well.
It could be. Yeah, I don't know the dates. What was Ray in office during that time? You said Mueller resigned in 2013. Is that what that said?
2013, yes. And then...
but then he came back into the mix with the investigation.
Yeah, special counsel.
And he was being blackmailed, it sounds like, so he couldn't really do anything.
Yeah, and this thing kind of breaks it up into a little bit of a couple groups. So this person says Manafort, Comey, Rosenstein, Podesta, Clintons, Holders, and Lynch are all on one
left
team.
Click on that real quick.
Left click. Okay, make it bigger.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you.
Well, it's a little too big.
Then just scroll to the left and right.
Oh, okay. Here we go. Here we go. Okay.
Now we don't have to squint.
Manafort, Comey, Rosenstein, Podesta, Clintons, Holders, Lynch, all on one team. We affectionately call them the Clinton Cabal. To take down this cabal, we needed someone who was close to career FBI agents because they were holding all of the evidence. When the DNC and Clinton campaign spun the Trump-Russia collusion conspiracy back in December, we couldn't believe it. That gave us a way to expose them. We would use the Russian investigation to expose the bribery and extortion racket. That took place back in 2009 and continued to 2015. We got Mueller to sign on to investigate the connection. We needed him because he had been at the FBI for almost as long as Hoover and knew all the agents that were sitting on the Russia-Clinton's connection. More importantly, he hates Holder, Obama, and Clinton. The plan was to get the Special Investigative Counsel headed by Mueller and have FBI agents hand over all the evidence. Unfortunately, we didn't count on Comey being such an obstacle. In the short time, he was the director of the FBI and he had made many allies who were proving to be loyal to him. He had to go. We knew it would be messy, but we had President Trump fire him. It caused a lot of headaches for us, but in the end, it was worth it. Mueller's been gathering evidence from his former agents for months now. Along with the raid to Manafort and Podesta, we now have enough evidence to connect all the dots. Mueller also convinced the FBI informant to speak up. Getting the gag order removed was trivial. Says 4, we gave the Hill a heads up. We knew the switch in narrative from Trump Russia to Clinton Russia would take a little time. We had them drop Uranium One article exactly 1 week before we could make the first arrests. Excuse me? A couple of days later, we dropped the dossier info. We needed to hammer the train. The first arrests will be Manafort and Tony Podesta. The guys are not the real target. They're just soldiers. The real targets are Hillary, Holder, Rosenstein, and Podesta. We would love to expose Obama as well, but President Trump is adamant about protecting former presidents. Okay, even if they're corrupt pieces of shit, he believes in the dignity of the office. He feels that ruining the legacy of a president will do nothing but hurt our country. This is why both Bushes, Bill Clinton, and Obama, and even LBJ will be speared. LBJ? Lyndon Baines Johnson? What? All right. The rest of the JFK files are released will not include the essential information implicating, LBJ and Bush Sr. Okay. So it says the rest of the JFK files released will not include the essential information implicating LBJ and Bush Jr. So, dude, I was like, wait, LBJ, this person's an idiot. But then, wait, they knew that the JFK stuff was going to be released. So I'm taking this as being pretty solid, because how did they know that they were going to release all the JFK stuff? Remember, this post is from 2017. Let me just read the rest of this.
I mean, it sounds good.
Right? It sounds solid, but it's like, this is it. The final moves will take place over the next 4 months. They could have let this go. Honestly, President Trump wanted to get on with making America great again, period. But Hillary and the DNC just couldn't let it go. They asked for this. They kept making up shit, and now they're going to pay. If they kept their heads low and faded into obscurity, we would not have gone this route. They have no one to blame but themselves. I won't be responding to any questions here. I know for a fact who's watching. They're probably trying to trace me right now. Take care, and on. Peace be with you. So this person went by the name of SA37.
So that was then, and since then, they've totally gone after Trump and haven't stopped. So
yeah,
Trump,
or appeared to anyway.
Yeah, the lion, Trump the lion. He's going to, remember the video from Pool Hall Junkie? It was a Pool Hall Junkies?
Oh, the lion, when you got, what's his name there?
Christopher Walken.
Yeah. He slaps him. Yeah. That was a good one for sure.
I think we're going to see some, a little bit based off of this. It sounds really good, but I think we're going to see some more prosecutions. 9/11, we still have to have that answered. It's been 25 years, man, and there's still people in Gitmo, so they're covering it up.
No, well, not very many people in Gitmo, and here's the best part about that. Why are they expanding the facilities at Gitmo still when they have less than 10 people or less than 10 public guests? Right? Exactly. I don't think there's 10. we need to
Did you play the sealed indictment video that Patel just had?
I did not. I don't think.
No. Basically, from that video you played, when he says, like, follow the money, he says, we just can't speak about it until we speak through an indictment. So you have to unseal the indictments. And there's several 100,000 sealed indictments, I believe, on the dockets. I don't know if you have the stats. Sealed?
I don't, but yeah, they're over 600. Supposedly over 600,000 right now. But seal, you said seal, huh? Sealed.
Oh
indictments? Yeah. I guess we'll start with this one. This is going to be lower on my Spencer list here, but let's see what we got. This is crazy too. And somebody fact check it. It's factual. The amount of money he's talking about.
Oh yeah, that's not anything new. I think my buddy owned a house in Santa Barbara. I think it was $1,000 per square foot. Ugh. So it's just, the property is ridiculous. Now they're talking about rebuilding their house, and I think it's a 2,400 square foot house. Sounds like it's $1,000 per square foot.
We'll see. All right, let's see what Mr. Spencer's got to say here.
We talked to the building contractor today. He said to rebuild our 2,500 square foot, it's a 2-bedroom house, it's $2.5 million. $2.5 million to build 2,500 square foot house, not including a single thing inside of the house that we ever bought, just the actual structure. And that's before all these new tariff things I'm reading about and wood being more expensive out of Canada or whatever. So I bet he's not even factoring that in. Up, seal. Where'd you go? Where'd you go?
I don't think he ended up finding the seal either, too, did he? Everything never popped up.
No, I think that was deliberate comms. Remember, Spencer's not a very good actor.
Reality, yeah. Reality.
But he was given some numbers there. I wonder what they meant.
Never know, right? Well, we got a little comment of President Trump, and we got a couple more things we'll see out of California here coming up.
By about 3,000.
And again, I can't figure out why some of the videos are doing this. When I click on them, it's not showing like this and then going bigger. They're pulling them on full screen. So again, my haunted computer is doing whatever it wants. But I like it. Okay, here we go.
By about 3,000 votes into that critical second place spot. If Rahman holds on to her lead, she'll advance to the runoff election against Mayor Karen Bass in the fall. Now, before the ballot dump yesterday, Spencer Pratt posted in part, writing, "We've got all the way till July 6th to keep counting. They're not the only ones who know where to find votes." Now, moments after the new numbers came in, Mayor Karen Bass's campaign released a statement attacking Rahman and labeling Rahman her general election opponent, seemingly ruling out a Pratt comeback. A Bass spokesperson writing, "We look forward to winning a contest against an opponent who allows encampments near schools and fights against hiring more cops, yet is MIA on saving Hollywood jobs and fighting back when ICE invades LA." Now, on Friday, we interacted with an assistant U.S. attorney inside the ballot counting facility here. The DOJ says he was observing, and the first assistant U.S. attorney in LA, Bill Asaley, says California has refused to give the federal government its voter rolls and allows first-time voters to use IDs like gym and debit cards. Asaley also writes, California allows third parties to collect and turn in ballots on voters' behalf, a practice known as ballot harvesting with few restrictions. This makes it difficult to track who actually received, completed, and submitted each ballot. Now, Asaley says there are ongoing voter fraud investigations here in Southern California. He points to a recent woman who was arrested for allegedly paying people on Skid Row to register to vote. Bill, Dana.
Matt Finn, thank you. Nice to
Yeah, nice to see you. Okay, let's see if it's going to do it again. Hey, it didn't do it that time. But, dude, President Trump came out and said, not possible for Spencer Pratt to have lost the L.A. runoffs after the big lead he had. Third world nation, rigged elections. Now they'll be working on great guy Steve Hilton. Won't have results for possibly 2 weeks, according to officials. President DJT. I mean, dude, this is like...
If this isn't a sting operation, then you guys can stop listening to me.
Right.
They're definitely monitoring this, and you can see the handoff here. I don't think Karen Bass is going to win again. They're going to pass it off to this Indian girl that came out of nowhere. The whole thing's rigged, and this is the exposure part. So, we're waiting.
Yeah, this is what he was saying too, right? And I thought this was like, well, this sounds kind of cheating-ish, right?
Yeah, I know. What is he going to do? Cheat too? And that's going to expose, it's just weird.
You're gonna all the way till July 6th to keep counting. They're not the only ones who know where to find votes with a winky emoji. So yeah, not cool. Let's see.
It'd be kind of hilarious if they did cheat the cheaters, and then they'd have to expose it in court.
Oh, sorry about that.
Then the Democrats would have to sue the Republicans, to expose their own fraud in court.
Big time, dude. Big time.
I wonder if that ever happens.
You like gays for Trump? Yay. Nithya Raman even lost her own district, CD4, to Spencer Pratt and Karen Bass, but you expect us to believe she beat them both by winning 40% of the vote in the rest of the city by mail-in ballots? What does Elon say to that? True. This post claim is accurate. The 2026 LA mayor primary, Nithya Raman, incumbent, placed behind Karen Bass and Spencer Pratt in her home district per precinct level results, yet late mail-in ballot counts from other city districts enabled her to narrowly overtake Pratt for second place overall. Bass leads at 35%, Rahman at 27.1%, and Pratt roughly 26.7%. Mail-in dynamics drove the shift. Rahman gained significantly from them. Isn't that crazy, dude? I'd never lie. Gays for Trump. Oh, dude, it's the same playbook over and over and over again, right? It's the same thing. And what are they doing? Election month. Well, that's going to be coming to an end here, dude. Real hope for California. SCOTUS could potentially end election month once and for all. This is from, I think, yesterday or the day before. But right now, the U.S. Supreme Court is preparing to rule in a major case called Watson versus the Republican National Committee. Federal law has long set a clear election day for president, Senate, and House races. First Tuesday after the first Monday in November, but some states, including Mississippi and California, allow mail ballots that are postmarked by election day to still be counted if they arrive several days later. Mississippi gives a 5 business day grace period. Challengers argue this violates federal law that says ballots must actually be received by election day. What it implies for California and the country, Supreme Court heard arguments in March, and most justices appeared ready to side with the challengers. If they ruled that way, expected this month, it would strike down those post-election day counting windows in roughly 15 states plus D.C., including California's rules for all federal elections. That means no more ballots keep trickling in for days and weeks after polls close. How impactful could this be? Absolutely huge. It means faster, clearer results on election night instead of weeks later. This is checkmate. So, dude, it's they absolutely need to do something along these lines, and get these machines out of here, dude. Like I said it yesterday on the show, I'll say it now and I'll say it again. Millions and hundreds of millions of dollars for what, Mac? So we can allow them to cheat, but also we get to wait for the results of the elections as well. Like, tell me how that's, besides the Democrats that are cheating, tell me how that's, a good system for anybody else. I'll wait. I'll be waiting on that one.
I remember when mail-in ballots had to be in by election day. I remember when election day was election day.
Right.
Reliving and how is this all of a sudden a reality? That's what I'm like. They just passed this and under our noses, I guess, over all these years. Because I do remember specifically, just like President Trump, it was an election day, it was an election month. So they changed the laws, I think, for COVID, right?
Yeah, exactly. Never brought them back. Never brought them back. Isn't it? It's like, what the hell, dude? Let me see. June 8th, so this should be current and good here.
Oh, and that verdict's supposed to be before the end of June.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
And then we'll have the birthright citizenship ruling. When's that supposed to be by? I thought that was already supposed to happen. Hopefully this month. I'll ask AI. Let's see.
Make sure you double check it. Let's see. Here we go. A little video action. I'm going to like this one here. You guys will like it. Let's make sure it's loud enough.
As top officials like the governor, Tim Walz, and the AG, Keith Ellison, they were aware of the fraud as early as 2020, but they still allowed the payments to go out to the fraudsters. And they say because, according to the report, the reason they did, concerns of potential racial discrimination claims, because many of the defendants are from the Somali immigrant community.
So this is woke gone wrong again. You got people that are committing criminal acts, taking money from taxpayers. Many of these people immigrated to the country. Some of them are not even citizens of the country. And they're using it for fraudulent purposes. And the government knew about it. They didn't do anything about it because they are considered a protected class.
And they attacked the whistleblowers.
Right.
And that's part of the report.
Right. So the House Oversight letter to J.D. Vance, this is what they said in that letter. So the committee requests that the White House task force to eliminate fraud thoroughly review all of Minnesota's social services programs in light of the vulnerabilities created by efforts of state officials who, instead of mitigating fraud, actually sought to cover up or minimize reports and findings of fraud. Specifically, the committee's investigation found that senior officials in Minnesota state government, including Governor Walz and Attorney General Ellison, were aware of widespread fraud in federally funded social service programs for years, possessed the legal and procedural authority to stop the payments and ban fraudulent providers, but repeatedly failed to act. As a result, potentially billions of American taxpayer dollars were paid to fraudulent actors.
Yeah, they reportedly have $9 billion, they said, has been stolen on high-risk Medicaid spending.
$9 billion, dude, just on high-risk Medicaid spending. And again, playing with me here, this computer. But dude, so much fraud. And again, nobody can sit back and tell me that the whole thing with Tim Walz wasn't set up, dude. Like, for him to be the vice president nominee, and then we find all this fraud in this country. This was 100% lockstep, meant to happen like it did, in my humble opinion.
Well, they're like the perfect examples of puppets, you know? Who are their puppeteers? Because, you know, Tim Walz being this guilty of fraud is going to bite the bullet here, and we need to make an example of him so it never happens again. But, you know, there's others that need to be also tried and sentenced for a very long time, if not worse. Yeah, retired.
Big time.
In the dirt.
When's the basketball game tonight, by the way? NBA Game 3 time? Because probably what?
Probably
8:30?
now.
Yeah, probably 8:30 time. Let me see. I'm just wondering to see if they're gonna highlight President Trump coming out.
Oh yeah,
8:30. So it's 8. It started at 8:30. Let's see if anybody's got Trump at NBA.
Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, let's see. Gonna hear a bunch of oh, here we go. 33 minutes ago, Dan Scavino, Jared Kushner, Lee Zeldin, Sean Duffy, and they're in a box. Trump's team is packing the venue. Cue the meltdown. The left's having a frenzy. Let's see what anything's saying here. Congregating with Secretary Doug Burgum and others at the finals game. Adam Silver, President Trump was a fixture at Madison Square Garden. He had courtside seats. He was here all the time. Oh, dude, yes, thank you, nerdy.
And I'll also say about President Trump, you know, I've been with the league for a long time. I ran NBA Entertainment years ago. He did an I Love Kids game spot with us. He was a fixture at NBA at Madison Square Garden. You guys remember, well, all of you, when you played here, not Draymond, but back in the old days, he had courtside seats. He was here all the time. He was at drafts, so he's a genuine Knicks fan. And I'll also...
Oh, I guess that puts a kibosh in that one, huh, dude?
Yeah, it's a smart move by the...
Oh, smart move by the what? You just went mute.
The NBA not to trash talk him because he's bringing ratings to them and money, and they know it. So
yeah, absolutely. Is he the first sitting president? Trump is saluting the national anthem at Madison Square Garden ahead of Game 3 of the NBA Finals. First sitting president at the finals. Really? Who did the national anthem? Oh, it's going away. Good voice.
Yeah.
Boom. You're going to see that picture. You're probably going to see this picture tomorrow on his True Social. See a picture taken right behind him, showing everything at the game. It's probably going to be on True Social, and probably already is. But I love it, dude. And he's not making a big spectacle. He didn't go, courtside or whatever. He looking like he got himself a nice little press box here. But again, what do you think your thoughts are on the fans in general? I think sports fans would tend to be more pro-Trump than anti-Trump is my guess. I don't know. What do you think about that? You think it's more about politics or sports for some of the folks?
I don't know. It's a mixed bag. I mean, it all depends. I think majority of America like President Trump. I mean, it's in the elections. So New York's a very Democrat area, and he got pretty much. I think they were reacting to him on the big screen, so they were cheering, but you could also hear some other reactions. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, you had a little bit. You had some boos in the background for sure too. But my guess is whether you're if you're living in New York, I think the sports fans would tend to be more of a fan of him. It'd just be my guess. I don't know how I would ever prove or disprove it, but I wonder what the folks in the chat are thinking.
Isn't he credited with changing the landscape of New York City? So he's
absolutely.
Yeah, I think he sold waterfront property to the Chinese at one point, and he's got multiple properties in New York City. He's been a staple of real estate there, so he's a lover of New York City. He always has been. Hopefully, he's going to bring it back.
Yeah, and he even helped with that the ice rink. They said it was going to take years and millions of dollars. He got it done in a few months as well.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and let me see. Greg 3012 from the north of the UK dropped in a $20 Rumble rant. Appreciate it, brother. He says, love it. Thank you for that, sir. And then G Fonts dropped a $1 holler. Says, I remember when only around 12% of the entire U.S. population participated on Election Day. What do they claim it is now? Surely over 50% of the population, of the U.S. population, including many who theoretically cannot. Yeah, dead people, older folks that they were harvesting for sure. So thank you, G Fonts there, and thank you, Mr. 3012, Greg 3012. But yeah, I mean, he's just a guy who loves his country, and I feel like he wants to see a better country, just like we want to see a better country. It's not that difficult, right? And of course, they're doing major pushback.
Common sense.
Left and right. How about this one?
Wasn't it like?
Okay. No, you're good. You good.
I was going to bring up the birthright citizen fraud that they found. I couldn't believe it.
It's so
like
bad.
100,000 cases of it. Whether the H-1B1, they shouldn't have been given the visa.
Oh yeah. What was it? End up being like 90% of it was fraud.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Yeah, I think I touched on that one yesterday too. It's so incredibly bad. We're guaranteed in the trillions and trillions of dollars in fraud. And I always mix up this judge here from. I'm like, wait, is that Joe DeGeneva? And of course it's not. So, but here we go. Here, listen to not the whole 3 minutes, but you'll get it.
Trump administration is dealing with a lawsuit over the ballroom. This is the DOJ telling an appeals court construction has, quote, gone too far, in fact, to even be stopped, and the courts have no role in weighing in on the project. Lawyers are...
We just stop it right here, Mac. Let's just right there. We're going to stop construction. We'll keep it just like that. What do you think? Like if they get their way. Yeah. Like how stupid.
Just weaponization of our law. They're just using the court systems. I'm sure it's... I wonder who is suing them. He keeps mentioning very foreign people that are taking, Trump's ideas to court. But,
yeah, over and over again. All right, we'll listen to a little bit of this, what she says. This is great.
Role in weighing in on the project. Lawyers are arguing, though, if the president wants to quickly bulldoze the Statue of Liberty, also that he can't be sued for it. So where's this all going? And pick up also on Judge Knapp's take on the UFC claim.
Well, Bianca, I have to laugh about the UFC claim because you remember under Joe Biden, you had transgenders going topless at the White House, and Democrats had no issue with that. But we're celebrating America's 250th birthday. President Trump has a unique exemption, and you have a private company like the UFC coming in and donors that are trying to make this happen days before. This is another ploy by Democrats to stop. They continue to try and win these culture wars and confine Americans on what is celebratory or not. And the same thing is with President Trump's ballroom. I think there's a massive mistake here. This is for national security, and every American should sit back and realize, regardless of your politics, whether you're a Democrat president tomorrow or a Republican, you have the ability to use this. National security and presidential security should outweigh individuals that are pushing back on aesthetics or the fact that President Trump doesn't have the authority, because he does.
Legal exposure.
So, dude, like, they're going to try to push back on every which way, but he's getting donations for the ballroom. And, you know, having the UFC come in is just something great for our country. It's not like, you know, you're just doing some thing where you have a transgender, like, right on the friggin' front with the boobs flashing, which was totally disgusting. That part was fine, right, dude? But this is, no, we can't celebrate our country.
Yeah. I just, what reality are we living in? I don't understand how they're able to, like,
right,
delay this if it's based off of national security. Like, I don't understand it. Why there's any questioning of this? Why there's the ability of them to listen to this in court and then make that judgment? The whole process seems like it's a sham, right? Is this part of the exposure that our judicial system's corrupt and they're not listening to our commander in chief?
Absolutely not. They're not. And he's
I wonder if they're getting.
Oh, good. You're good.
No, I just wonder if they are getting reprimanded in the background, because by law you can't do that. Like, it's the law. I don't know. Maybe I'm the crazy one.
Well, no, they're going to try to make it, you know, he's just making this, you know, ballroom or whatever. And as you mentioned, it is for national security and whatnot. But yeah, let me see. Actually, I'm going to play this next one here. You know, it's going to be for more than that. And he actually put it out earlier. He's like, listen, it's going to be saving our country. It's going to save us pretty soon here. I wanted to play this, dude, and actually my buddy Marauder, who's this is an older clip, but I wanted to play this for about a minute and a half here. And I want you guys to take special note. We're going to play for about a minute and a half here, so pay special attention to what specifically Mr. Shiffy Schiff says here, guys.
Your answer. The president orders SEAL Team 6 to kill his political opponent, one of them, maybe several, uses the military to do it, so it's within the scope of absolute immunity. Is it your view that he is not subject to prosecution for that if the members of his party will not impeach him?
With that hypothetical, or any hypothetical that you might try to pose, Senator, I would just refer to the test that the Supreme Court has set out.
I'm asking you your view, so just tell me yes or no.
Yeah, and I want to tell you that as a judicial nominee, I don't want to prejudge any case, regardless.
Well, I'm not asking you to prejudge. I'm asking you to talk about your view and also what you argued, what you counseled the president in that case. Did you make the argument as a member of the president's legal team that, yes, he could assassinate his opponent if he used the military to do it, and if his party wouldn't impeach him, that he would be protected?
Yeah, so I can't get into any privilege conversations, as you know, due to attorney-client privilege, but I would refer you to the remarks that John Sauer had at the Court of Appeals and the Supreme Court.
Well, the remarks that he made were, yes, that's correct. He would be immune. So I don't hear any disagreement with you. Do you disagree?
I would disagree with your characterization of how he responded to that question. I think he said it was outlandish, would not happen, and that there would be a process to hold someone like that accountable. And I think that
the question from the judge was, if he were not impeached first, is that your position? And that was Sauer's position. It sounds like that is your position as well. Let me ask you about a different part of the court's opinion, that is that the only area where he's truly liable is purely personal conduct. So let me ask you this. If a president uses their official position to enrich themselves.
Well, clearly that would be a violation there. But did you catch around the 1:10 or 55 to 1 minute mark what he was saying there, Mac? That was pretty interesting. Let me see. Are you muted, Mac?
I'm here.
Okay.
Well, which part? I thought you were going to tell me which part.
All right, let me play. I'm going to play this part one again. I thought this was interesting. Here we go. Go back a little bit. Here we go.
Did you make the argument as a member of the president's legal team that, yes, he could assassinate his opponent if he used the military to do it, and if his party wouldn't impeach him, that he would be protected.
Yeah. So I can't get into any privilege.
So he could kill his military, he could kill his adversaries, but it's okay as long as the military did it. I thought it was pretty interesting choice of words that were in there. And again, he was he was all over the drops too. And it's actually one of my favorite drops Shifty Schiff was in, which was I think it says like what is Adam Schiff trying to do? And again, right here it is. Ding, 4521. H.R. 7297 in 2020 to amend Title 18, United States Code, to prohibit the use of an armed force under the jurisdiction of the Secretary of Military Department as posse comitatus or otherwise to execute the laws and for other purposes. Sponsored by Rep. Schiff, congressman at the time. Worth tracking. Talks about the Posse Comitatus Act and U.S. Code 18, Section 1385, an original intent of which was to end the use of federal troops to police state elections in former Confederate states, proscribes the role of the Army and Air Force in executing civil laws in states. Key exceptions to the Posse Comitatus Act, quote, pursuant to presidential power to quell domestic violence, federal troops are expressly exempt from the prohibitions of Posse Comitatus Act, and this exemption applies equally to active duty and federalized National Guard troops. What is Adam Schiff trying to prevent? And this is why I love this stuff too. Everything you are witnessing, past, present, and future, or past, present, future, centrally revolves around the presidential election of 2020. Win by any means necessary. Self-preservation. So yeah, he's been Mr. Shifty Schiff's been like top guy on my list for quite a bit, quite a long time.
Was part of those guys, lawyers, I guess, and politicians that were trying to get ahead of Trump.
Trying,
like trying to impeach him or pass laws to impede him. This is all part of the coup that they're all going to get busted on. So. God help them.
Do we know anything? I'm just looking at this. This is interesting. This is around noon today. I literally just eyeballed this as we go here. This is the weirdo out of California, out of Texas. Second former Capitol staffer has confirmed a past romantic relationship with Democrat Senate candidate James Tallarico. You know what I'm wondering, right? Is it an
Asian spy?
No. First he was gay, now he's a womanizer. Sounds like a single man dating. The alternative is a man who's cheated on his wife multiple times. What are we doing here? Single guy who's dated a single woman. Film at 11. GOP wants to pretend he is gay. They can't get their lies straight. When Republicans are scared of someone, here they come with he's gay. No, he's straight. No, he's dating women. No, he's dating several women. Yikes, he's a vegan. No, he eats meat. He eats too much meat. This is the weirdo guy that has all the extra additional.
I know nothing about this guy other than I think Trump posted a meme about him and his missing tooth.
Hello, he's got a missing tooth?
I don't know. It was let me find it.
Forcing him to eat meat in front of reporters, proving he's Texas tough. He looks like he wants to puke. He's like, what is this? Oh, what is that, actually? Looks like some bacon wrapped scallops or something. I don't know what that is. Okay. But yeah, he's forcing him to do something he doesn't want to do, apparently. Let's see. Oh, dude, did you hear about I should have had this in my Minnesota area segment, but did you hear about the white dude killed by in Minnesota by Somalians? You got the tooth picture?
Yeah, there. It's Trump posted that. It's pretty funny. I don't know anything about this guy out of Texas.
Let's see. Oh, Alfred E. Newman. That's right. Yeah. We cannot allow this to happen to the great state of Texas.
Is that the same guy?
President Donald J. Trump. Yeah, that's the dude. I mean, if he wasn't such a friggin', psychopath, I would say whatever. But yeah, this dude he's a friggin', he's just one of those liberal nut jobs, or it seems like, LBGTQA plus DP L29-7. Like, yeah, no, we don't need these types in there. And again, dude, what happened to Beto? Like is he
good question. Yeah, he's out, I guess.
Right, it's like, yeah, you gonna try to come back? Beto.
Speaking he's probably gay.
Oh God. Let's see. Oh gosh, look at this.
Speaking of which, Tom Brady is probably as well after his new product release.
Oh gosh, dude, I told you. I told you before the show, right? And you can't bring this stuff up. I'm a New England guy. I'm right here, next to 45 minutes an hour next to Boston, and I'm gonna even have to say, greatest quarterback of all time. Little gay, little gay, little gay. But dude, look at who's Beto O'Rourke's first post. His little boyfriend.
I think he's kind of like Paul Ryan now in the background. It seems like he operates with his billionaire wife in the background now.
Oh God, yeah, this is great. Oh, dude, I might actually want to play a little bit of this Thomas Massey thing. Did you hear the thing about the Israeli strafing run there on? Oh, geez, what was it? 1967. I know you know about that, right? When
USS Liberty.
Yes, Thomas Massey. Actually, and there's one part of it that I didn't actually know. So let's play a little bit of this, because this is a little day sting here. But again, here's Gato O'Rourke, most corrupt politician in America. He embodies the broken system we're running against. Really, Ken Paxton is the most corrupt politician in America. That's what they're going with. That's crazy, dude. That's just beyond crazy. All right, so here we go. 59 years ago today, Israel attacked the USS Liberty on international waters. 34 crew members were killed. 174 were wounded by the IDF. Today I spoke on the House floor to honor the fallen and to recognize the survivors who were present in the gallery. So this was actually today, dude. There's a very interesting part in the beginning that I was not aware of. And let's see if maybe I heard it wrong. I don't know. But let's take a listen to the new Thomas Massey.
We now recognize the gentleman from Kentucky, Mr. Massey, for 5 minutes.
I request unanimous consent to revise and extend my marks and to introduce other material into the record.
Without objection.
Mr. Speaker, it's my great honor, maybe one of the biggest honors of my lifetime, to stand here on the floor and do something that's 59 years overdue, to recognize the survivors and those who gave their lives on the USS Liberty 59 years ago today, when they were viciously attacked by IDF jets, and also after that by torpedo boats. I'm going to tell you a little bit of their story. And by the way, there's at least a dozen of them here today with us. I just met with them in my office, and they related this story to me. It was a clear day. The USS Liberty was one of the most technologically sophisticated ships in the Navy, but it was virtually unarmed, and it was sent to observe the 6-day war going on in the Middle East between Israel and its neighbors. It arrived on June 7th. The weather was clear. The planes came out to meet them, to investigate, and then on the next day, on June 8th, they started the day. The visibility was unlimited. The American flag was flying proudly on the USS Liberty. More planes came from Israel to surveil the boat, the ship. And they thought they were in good shape, but what happened next surprised them all. French Mirage jets showed up and for 25 minutes strafed and attacked the USS Liberty. They shot rockets. They shot 30-millimeter cannons into the hull and into.
All right, that was a little bit of a new thing for me, and I can't find anything that verifies that. Did you ever hear that, dude? That France? Did he say France? Strafe jets, right? That's what he said. That's what the word said. Is that what he said, dude? Let me see. Right here. It sounded like he said France.
Next, surprised them all. French Mirage jets showed up and for 25 minutes strafed and attacked the USS Liberty.
That for me is new, dude.
Yeah, that's weird. Yeah, I never heard that, but it could be French built. So I don't know. It really has never been explained before. So I'm glad he brought it up. Thomas Massey is not the same guy we knew before, looks wise. Posted the difference in the chat there. He's an odd bird. He's there to disrupt and probably try to get ahead of what President Trump's trying to do. So draw division. People are going to hear about this, be angry. It's Israel's fault and so forth. I think all this is going to come out under President Trump. We just got to get there. And people, Marjorie Taylor Greene was another person. Elon Musk even got mad at President Trump because he didn't do what he wanted. You know what I mean? But Trump has had a plan from, before we probably knew it, of what he's doing. And he's 5-10 steps ahead of us. We're just trying to figure out what he's up to.
Exactly. And I got a little bit of clarity on this one. Okay. So I said, Massey said that there were French, strafe jets, that attacked for 25 minutes. Did he misspeak? It says the aircraft that attacked the USS Liberty were operated by the Israeli Air Force. Several of them were French-designed aircraft, including the Dassault Mirage 3 and the Dassault Super Mystery, which Israel had purchased from France before the Six-Day War. So if you hear French Mirage jets, that's technically describing the aircraft's origin and not who was operating them. So what he said essentially was that the French Mirage jets came by, strafed the Liberty for 25 minutes, and then we'll continue on here.
They shot rockets. They shot 30-millimeter cannons into the hull and into the ship. They even dropped napalm on the bridge of the ship. This was an effort to kill everybody on board. There was no intention of taking prisoners. After the 25 grueling minutes of attack on this virtually unarmed ship, and they thought things were over and they could recover, the torpedo boats showed up, 3 torpedo boats. They launched 4 torpedoes. One of them hit the hull of the USS Liberty and killed 25 people instantly. It blew a 40-foot by 40-foot hole in the side of this ship. They were intent on sinking it. But they were also intent on not having a single survivor. According to eyewitness accounts, the Israelis machine-gunned the lifeboats that they put down. They machine-gunned the firefighters who were on the deck. They were bringing the wounded and the dead to the mess hall to triage them. They had one doctor who was trying to help them all, put a few stitches in. It was harrowing, and it's amazing. If not for that crew, that boat would have sunk that day. But it still wasn't over. Helicopters showed up, combat helicopters. And the USS Liberty, even though their signals were being jammed by the Israelis, got a signal out. And there were ships that tried to respond. The USS Saratoga, the USS America sent planes. Both of them sent planes to help the USS Liberty. And something happened that's never happened before. A ship under attack, the planes were recalled. This has never happened before. And they sat there for 17 hours. 34 dead, 174 wounded, out of 294 crew members. That's over 70% casualty rate, unheard of. The Israelis were intent on leaving no survivor. And what about our own military? Why did they not send anybody for 17 hours to help these men? So what really happened? The official reports say that it was a case of mistaken identity. But if you listen to Dean Rusk, former Secretary of State, Richard Helms, CIA Director, Bobby Ray Inman, head of the NSA, Captain Ward Boston, who was the chief counsel of the Court of Inquiry, if you listen to Admiral Moore, who served in Pearl Harbor, Midway, commanded both the Atlantic and Pacific Fleet, and was chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. None of these distinguished men think this was an accident. They think it was intentional murder by the country of Israel, either as a false flag operation or because they simply didn't want anybody observing what they were doing that day. Well, I've got a call to action for everybody here. Honor these individuals. Quit ignoring that they exist. Go to their website, ussliberty.org. Support them. And while they're still alive, they need closure. Let's give them closure. Let's have an investigation. Let's pass a resolution honoring them. It's long overdue. And then they can have their justice. That, I yield back. And I ask unanimous consent to enter into the record a declaration of Ward Boston declaring that the only official court of inquiry was invalid.
Without objection, so ordered.
Dude, it sounds very similar to, he said, you know, when in the history, when has this happened where we were sending people to go help and then they never got there? Sounds like Benghazi to me. Right, we had people in the area that could help. They could have been ordered to help, but they basically were not. So yeah,
Pearl Harbor, where they took all the major ships out to sea. They knew it was going to come. Start World War II. Yeah.
Well, I mean, you know, so you have certain people that are out there that are basically just black-pilled, right? And I get it from both sides. I get some people that are sending me this like, yeah, great. And then I get people that are sending me this like, see what they do? See, oh my God. And I'm like, but you think President Trump doesn't know about this? I said, you guys would be much better off in a much better mood with the knowledge that, yes, this was all laid out to be like this, right? But they're making it seem like, no, it's Trump's just being forced to do whatever this country wants and whatnot. But we're seeing the split, like right before us. It's happening, dude.
I mean, you know, the money's getting cut off too, especially. So, you know, I get it that we give them billions of dollars for defense every year. That may change, but you know, think about all the other outside money that we still haven't talked about, or you know, they haven't. We've focused on like the Somali immigrant group and stuff like that. You know, Israel quotes also has their scams too. So you just wonder what's going on. Now Thomas Massey here, I think that you know USS Liberty needs a little bit of more attention to what happened because it sounds like it was very nefarious. But you know, what the heck is he doing at the end? Donate to them and you know, www. And I've never seen somebody do that on the floor. But maybe that's a regular nowadays, where you try to make a point and then you tell them to go donate to, you know, whoever. I get it; it's supposed to be for that cause, but that's not what he's there for. To promote money to an organization, he's there to make laws and stuff. So. Leave it there.
I pulled up your picture here for the folks, and I got
totally different guy.
I got a good one for you. I had to put the Conor McGregor meme to it.
Todd Blanche is now our AG officially. It sounds like.
Is he? Don't we want them moving? So if anybody knows, watches UFC frequently. I put this out like as soon as I saw
a military guy. To be honest with you, he got replaced by a military guy. A lot of these people, I feel like, get replaced by military people. This is like part of the cog or something. I don't know.
Very possible.
They're playing roles and stuff.
Even when they were announcing him into the show, this was the first I've seen of this new look. So I think this was his first appearance with, you know, the new look. But even his face, like the way he was like smiling, was almost like, are they buying it? But here we go. 7 whole seconds.
Studios, Kentucky Republican Thomas Massey.
Who the fuck is that guy? Who the fuck is that?
Studios, Kentucky.
Who the F is that guy? Who the F is that? A little space in between the tooth there, here, and then is that space in between the tooth right there? Let's see what we got. Shift, no, control. Here we go. That, I don't know, dude. That looks like a big gap right there.
You can do that. teeth you can augment.
You got a little mole
I
there.
don't know. On those kind of interviews, they can also be CGI'd or whatever technology they use to morph their faces into somebody else. But look at his neck. It just looks like a different person. His just structure looks like he's winking too. Yeah.
Right? It's like, oh, welcome in, Thomas Massey, and it's just almost like, hey, I'm Thomas Massey. Are you buying this? Or and I don't know. Again, my issues from him stems with the whole, the basically he had already bedded 2 women, or 3 women essentially by the time his wife was dead for 2 months essentially.
He's definitely trying to cover up something. He was probably on that slush fund for sexual harassment, I'm guessing. But he's gone against everything that President Trump's been trying to do. So F that guy. I hope he rots. Because he's supposed to represent people that voted him in, and he all these people that seem to be not on Trump's side are going on their own personal views and not what the people that voted him in on. And that they should be taken out of office for doing that.
How's that for high school sweetheart? Ex-girlfriend Cynthia West states that Massey had a, quote, intimate affair with Rep. Boebert before his relationship with West here, which was 2 months after his wife of 30 years passing away. Oh, and was essentially bragging that he got the hottest woman in Congress, talking about Boebert. Bragged about it to this woman.
She got asked by it. She was a little nasty, Boebert.
Really? Oh, hold on. Let's listen.
A congresswoman.
Do we know who that congresswoman is?
Mm-hmm.
Who's the congresswoman?
Oh, it's Lauren.
Lauren Boebert?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Those are his words.
Dude, I just pulled up the clip that you're talking about, and I could literally see her lipping the words F you. And then the top comment says, it's quoting her saying, you guessed it, F you. F you. So, I mean, watch when you rephrase this. The first thing you see her say, F you. 13 whole seconds. Rep. Lauren Boebert unleashes against Fox News digital reporter after being asked about affair allegations between her and Rep. Thomas Massey, an incumbent critic of President Trump who lost his Kentucky primary last month. Let's see, Lauren.
Fuck you, first of all. If you're going to bring me into this, this sexist stuff is out of control. So there's your clickbait that you were looking for. And,
a lot of people.
I don't want to talk about anybody's exes and their crazy that they do. Fuck you, first of all.
Yeah, she did.
She used the sexist card. Come on.
I can't believe you're getting into this.
Girl, she gets around the block apparently. I mean, she got caught trying to give that guy a handy in the theater. Her track record is not going well right now.
Oh my God. Yeah, let me see. I put in Boebert. Oh, there you go. Boebert handy. And it comes up. How about that? Just for those of you who remember. And by the way, this was a Democrat. This dude was like a Democrat staffer or some other Democrat guy. But he's got his hands all over her boob, and she's got her hands all in his pants. Lauren Boebert, Colorado, is a lowlife skank. No class whatsoever. None. Also, she didn't do ish for Democrat 3 or D3. Admitted it in public. After literally doing 0, she ran in D4 and got reelected after she did what she did here to a Dem in a theater where there were children around. Okay. Which I'm sure it was, a dark theater, but yeah, dude.
And then she vaped in there, and then they got kicked out. So
she vaped too?
Yeah, they were like, I think smoking weed, maybe. A vape
here's
pen
a 10
like
grand.
that.
What do you think? Here's a 10 grand. You like that? Oh my God. Sorry. But again, who the F is this guy? And these are the conversations that we need to have, though. And I feel like there's some folks out there that are in the whole Lutnick and Susie Wiles and Jared and blah, 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 and Trump's just letting Israel do whatever. This is just disgusting. And I'm like, you don't see it for what it is, for what it really is. And if they were seeing it for what it is, they would be in a much better mood and they would be enjoying what they're seeing much more than being angry and pissed off all the time. That would be my guess, dude. You know, and it needs to be understood that, you know, exactly what's going on, and they're making it simple for the slow folks in the back of the class, dude. You know what I mean? They're incrementally making it incremental. I'm not even going to try that one again.
Incrementally.
Thank you. I'm not even going to try it again. Nope, won't even do it. Dude, you had this one up, and actually, you know, I think I had something for Cash to play first before your summer heat, before it gets too hot in here. Let me see. You had one of them with what do you call it? Blanche and with Cash. I think I put that in my saved ones aside here. This one you also found. I thought was pretty funny.
Yeah, then President Trump truthed it. It wasn't mine, but he liked it too.
That's a good one. I saw this one on a Zoom chat a while ago. Last Friday. Let me see. Was that the other one? Was this one? I don't know. You dropped this one, so I'm going to play this one here.
Acting Director of National Intelligence. There's been a little bit of a pushback from some Senate Republicans. Why do you think, Mr. President, he's the best person for the job?
Well, he's very smart. He's a person who's got high integrity. He's done a phenomenal job at Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac. You probably have $1 trillion in value there. When he took over, it was much less. And I guess I'm responsible for that, too, because everybody wanted me to sell it in my first term for 10% of what it's worth right now. If I would have sold it, we would have lost $900 billion. We would have lost, think of it, it's probably worth $1 trillion. And I was offered, people want me to sell it at $100 billion, a very small percentage of what it's worth now. So, and he built it up a lot, did a great job. And it's an acting position. It's not a permanent. He's not going to be permanent because, I don't think he'd want to be permanent. But he's a very smart guy, and he may find out some things about the rigged elections, et cetera, et cetera. I think he'd like to do it. I think he wants to do it very much. Got a lot of energy. But he'll be very good. Again, it's not a permanent position. Right. We're interviewing people right now, but it's somebody just to take it over for a little while.
You can't hit the moving targets, right, Mac?
It's that acting part again, He almost smiled there. He's going to be aggressive, so that's a good sign.
Almost did. And Debbie Roush gave us a little update here. Let's pop this one out.
So good about the 2020 election. He's done it, I think, a couple times this past week, referencing. Even in that interview, they're like pressing him. We haven't seen evidence. Where's your evidence? And he's staying tight-lipped.
We got evidence. You don't want to see it. You're a fraud. Oh yeah, we'll play that in a second. We got an update for Spencer Pratt's election thing here. It's probably muted here, knowing me. Here we go.
Called the LA mayor's race. Fox News alert. The AP just officially called the LA mayor's race. Nithya Raman and Karen Bass will officially advance to the next election. So Spencer Pratt is out after initially coming in second place. Fox News alert,
And that's exactly what they do, Mac, right? It's exactly why they had this woman who is like big enemies with her. But didn't she like work for her before or something like that? And then now they're big enemies and we're fighting. And well, no, you have her come in, so you split up the vote and you get Spencer out of there, and then now these two got to run off, and either way it happens, they win.
Let's do a little timeout here. Explain this to me. 28.5 plus 34.3. That's 62.8%. Minus 100. Aren't we? Isn't there like 28? Isn't that like 35% that we're missing?
62.8 would be 37%. Yeah, 37% would be the outstanding from 100. Did we have any independents? Oh no, this is all Democrat, right? Or this is all one side of the race?
I don't know, but maybe it's a thing where it's mathematically impossible for Spencer to get in. But I think Spencer was put there for a reason to expose the election fraud, and it's working glorious. So he's saying I'm curious what he's gonna do. Because there is that thing, if he cheats and the Democrats take him to court, that's going to be pure comedy to me, because they're going to be exposing their own fraud.
Right.
You know,
this is how you did it. But dude, I'm loving the comments over here. I mean, look at this. I'll just go randomly here. You know, astonishing level of corruption. They're afraid of Spencer. Yet we don't buy it. Don't buy that investigation right now. We already know Trump won 2020. Democrats will steal. I mean, that's rigged. All these comments are like in the same thing, dude. So you got all these people out there that are seeing this stuff. What people can't do is go, oh, wait, look at Fox News says this many or this X amount of percent is what the vote is, or this is what. No, you got to look at people actually leaving comments and things like that here on X. Real people.
You know what this is also showing is that how much censorship there was going on in these previous elections in the comments.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
before they wouldn't do this unless
Never.
people have actually woken up. There is that aspect, but I think a lot of people have been complaining about the fraud and stuff, and they just get censored. And you get the bots that come in, and then they flood out the true concerns of real people. So that's a weaponization of digital media. Crazy. That's exactly what they've been doing. We experienced that 100%. We probably still are getting censored, but
oh, big time. 28. I'm actually typing Spencer a message right now as we speak here. 28.5 equals. What do you decide? 37.3, 37.2, 37.2 outstanding, right? So it's like where is that other? Because I don't think there was anybody else that was in there. She was at 28.5. 28.5% equals 37.2% outstanding. Spencer, come on, bro. Outstanding. Watch, they're gonna be like, oh yeah, what about the other guy? So let's see. I don't think there was anybody else in the thing. I think it was just her and Spencer, right? Because where would the rest go? Anybody else in California? California equals worst. Sometimes it's even funny. Bamlo says, okay. I got a very interesting one here too, dude. When was this? You're gonna like this one. Why did we go into Venezuela? Oh wait, actually, Mac, I want to get your comment. So this was from last week, right? We saw this in Long Beach. We saw all these helicopters coming in Long Beach, this, that, and the other, right? But then, if anybody doesn't remember, back in...
Hey, was that video dated correctly? Because I couldn't figure that one out.
This one?
Like sometimes these are older videos when they...
I'm not sure. All I know is they had all this, whatever, air quotes, training at night, and they're saying, oh, well, they're using this former St. Luke medical area. They're saying it was like one of these places is haunted or whatever. So they're saying they're using old buildings. But we do know also that they have military bases that are set up like huge cities. So you wouldn't need to do stuff like this, okay? So I bring this to your attention because I want to bring something else to everybody else's attention back from 2019, I want to say it was. And there's actual dates on here. So
Operation Jade Helm.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, this was uploaded to YouTube February 10th of 2019, but stated in here it was recorded February 4th, downtown Los Angeles. I'll make it go a little quicker so everybody can see what's going on here. We'll do double time. And we'll turn the choppers down so everybody can kind of see what's going on here. You have sets of 3 choppers come in and land. People come out. They take off. 3 more come in. And then I think 1 more Black Hawk comes in at the end. I don't think the original ones are Black Hawks. We're at double speed here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. You see people go out there and run to the thing. One, 2, 3. I don't know where the other one went, but here comes some more. And here's where you're going to actually see, and I'll pause it. There are literally at least two people carrying one thing. I don't think it's a body. I think it was more of an object, maybe a machine or something. See that? Oh, let's do it again here. We're going to go half speed here. Let's go regular speed. All right. So these guys come in. They plop down. And out comes the guys and gals, perhaps. But clearly, you got these guys walking backwards. They're carrying something. I think these guys are carrying something as well. And again, this is all downtown Los Angeles in the middle of the night. Or, whatever, nighttime. So again, I don't think that this was anything that was an operation or training, Mac. I think when they do something like this, it was a high-value target, maybe dirty bomb or something.
It's a U.S. Army Special Operation troops conducted surprise urban warfare drills across Los Angeles and Long Beach, including rappelling onto Dodger Stadium and raiding an abandoned hotel. This event generated sufficient alarm and conspiracy theories similar to those surrounding Jade Helm. Yeah.
Those aren't soldiers. Those are operators.
Essentially, I think the military has known that something of the sort was coming. And I don't know how they predict that, but I think they felt like there was cells in America, certain areas. So
I like this guy's comment. First, helos and troops were there to locate and secure. I don't see physical coordinates, so I'm assuming real-time satellite or more likely high-altitude drone surveillance. The first Black Hawk is likely equipped with NBC containment vessel inside of it with minimum crew, likely 2 to 4 subject matter specialists and pilots. Once the first Black Hawk took off, the other one hung back and likely had detection equipment and more subject matter specialists intently watching the readings drop as the single expected payload was flown away at top speed. Once the specialists on the second Black Hawk were satisfied and relayed all clear to the command, they did a slow sweep through the area as the first Black Hawk came through, all the while checking readings on their equipment to ensure there are no spikes indicating additional material was present. Effing rad. So I'm pretty sure this is the one that we were calling like the Guatemalan Center or something like that. They had this thing at the Guatemalan Center, and nobody really explained what it was. And they said after the fact again, oh yeah, we're just doing some training stuff. But again, you don't do training in downtown Los Angeles when you have massive, massive military training facilities. You know what I mean? Let's see.
I'm looking to see if there is a announcement on the exercise. They were officially part of Exercise Emerald Warrior, sometimes referenced jointly as Emerald Warrior, Emerald Trident.
Trying to see if I can find any big ones just to show folks. But yeah, it's Larry Johnson is saying, former or current, whatever, Intel officer Larry Johnson has confirmation Iran has a nuclear weapon and will prove it soon. So take that for what you will. I'll have to send this to to the guys and see what they got to think. But where would they have gotten a nuke, or did they just get it? Because it's making it sound like that they just received it. It says that Iran now has a nuclear weapon and will prove it soon. I don't know about that one, buddy.
Yeah, they're notorious for propaganda. Who said this?
Former, there you go, bing. Ringo Starr movement. Could Iran prove its nuclear capability? Well, listen to what he says.
This is clickbait guy.
Nuclear device. Let's see what he says here, just for a little bit.
As a demonstration to show that we do have a nuclear device, we will detonate a nuclear device in Iranian territory. You remember Ringo Starr's song, I Get By With a Little Help from My Friends? I think this was a Ringo Starr moment. And without identifying the country, let me just point out that Iran has very good relations with Russia, with China, with North Korea, and with Pakistan. What those 4 countries all share in common is they all have functional nuclear weapons. And
I'm going to have to kibosh this guy right off the bat, because what if President Trump and Xi and Putin were working together to take down the New World Order? And therefore, I don't believe they would be sharing stuff with these guys here, unless they wanted it to get out as part of a narrative.
Yeah, I just think these guys are there just to ruffle feathers. I've heard so many of these kind of clickbait kind of. Trump's not doing it. He can't do it because X, Y, and Z, and never comes true. Trump's always right.
He's your favorite guy. I'll get you his phone number, dude. Don't worry about it. Don't
No,
fret.
you call him Tucker Jr.
Well, I always said he wants to be Tucker. This is pretty good, dude. I actually like this interview here. Hopefully it's loud enough, but here we go. A little bit of this.
And with all due respect, I say this. The Trump administration went after Nicolas Maduro in Venezuela because they rightly knew they had worked for 12 years on an indictment on Nicolas Maduro. Right? Venezuela was directly involved in the theft of the 2020 election. They stole that election from President Trump, working with Iran, working with the CCP, working with others. We know a lot of the details because there is a Venezuelan, very senior Venezuelan, sitting in prison who was actually a witness, an eyewitness to the theft. But what President Trump's administration did not do is they did not go after all the other people in Maduro's administration who were involved in the theft of the 2020 election. You know what they did instead? They took the woman, Delcy Rodriguez, the vice president under Maduro, and they made her the president. And that is because, from what I understand from people dealing with this firsthand, that's because, among others, the intelligence agencies were convincing the president, oh, you can't risk having the regime collapse in Venezuela, that's going to hurt you, and so on. Delcy Rodriguez and her brother Jorge Rodriguez, who presided over the theft of the 2020 election, are 100% complicit in the theft of elections in 72 countries worldwide. You want to know why President Trump doesn't get the support that he needs from a country like Spain? Because the cartel in Venezuela, the cartel that runs the country, Cartel de los Soles, they selected the Spanish prime minister. Why does America get all this heat from all over the world? Because the globalist, Marxist, Islamist alliance that has these cartels as their army, they all work together. So we don't face one enemy. The election in LA, the corruption there, the corruption in the system, this isn't about one enemy. This is about all of America's enemies working together. And all of those illegal immigrants in that sanctuary state of California who not only distort California's representation in the House, but who also they're on juries, so they're involved in the criminal justice system. I mean, all of these people, what they're doing is they are diminishing citizenship. They want to take your individual sovereignty and your national sovereignty, and they want to make it mean nothing. And that's what they're in the presence of doing, in the process of doing. And what did they do at the same time? They imported the most violent people from Venezuela's prisons. Do you see, Benny, how these things line up? Smartmatic and Venezuela being involved in the theft of the election is only one part of it. Flooding the country, Tren de Aragua is the cartel everyone knows about. They're like the ultra-violent army, sort of the dumb guys that do all the violence for the Venezuelans. They were created by going into Venezuela's prisons and recruiting the most violent people and creating this organization that is a paramilitary force. It is a violent, armed, trained paramilitary force that was infiltrated into out towns and cities. And these are the people that are in front of the ICE detention centers and helping to fuel the protests. So,
So what do you think of that, dude? I mean, it makes a lot of sense, and it also kind of makes a lot of sense.
Consider her 95% truth, 5% false. So,
come on,
she's saying like the intel agencies convinced Trump to do whatever. I just don't buy that. She has no insight on that.
Well, I think she doesn't know. Yeah.
What happened to her accent? She now is like working with an American accent now, like with a slightly foreign accent underneath. It's kind of funny.
Well, come on, Mac. You don't put your you don't put
remember
those
that
big
picture
lights.
with her and Kyle Rittenhouse?
Which one?
With the fun bag picture.
Oh no. What, you don't put the glamour lights on when you go live here? Because you can see them in her eyes, those big lights.
I'm not talking about her letting her chest hang out all the time. And there's a picture of her, Kyle Rittenhouse. But yeah, she's got some insight. I think she's one of these people that's known what's been going on, and as this stuff comes out, she talks out of her butt sometimes when it comes to the truth. She's like a narrative controller. So saying that the intel agencies were convincing Trump to do this or that she does not have access to that.
I don't think she knows about that, but the other part about them stealing elections and being behind elections, for sure.
Oh yeah, we've known Venezuela's been a part of it. Remember we theorized that Maduro was kidnapped more so than anything because he's going to be a key informant in all this. That's what he negotiated. That's why he was dancing and wearing a DJ outfit.
Thumbs up on everything.
I think, and probably that's why Marco wore that DJ outfit, because he, he made a deal, and instead of war, they're pressing on towards truth and justice. So we'll see what happens.
Dude,
I'm not saying I'm right.
Did you see the video? Apparently, she was on a plane with Juan, and like as soon as the video started, looked over and her puppies were falling out. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. But yeah, so she's had her puppies dropped on air a few times apparently. But dude, interesting memes President Trump has been using lately. I think you would agree, especially you. Let me pull this one up. So what are we looking at once I reveal the screen for everybody right there? What are we looking at?
Oh, this is the updated Obama library. We brought it up last week, and I mentioned how I was trying to put on my meme, put homeless people and gang members near the library. So President Trump went and did it himself and posted about it. It was hilarious.
Well, when you go to our show here, I'll put the meme up. I'll mute it. So yeah, this is the one that you actually made last week, right? And or this one. So this is the updated one that we were going through. So thought it was pretty interesting that. Dude, to me it looks like a prison more than anything, to be honest with you. But it does look like shit. It does look like trash.
It looks terrible, and it's taken so long to put up. It's crazy.
How much fraud do you think's involved in all that stuff?
All of it.
All of the above. All of the above. Yes, all of it. So yeah, dude, it's I'm loving it. I'm loving the interaction. With the with the team and with the things that we're seeing like this, dude. I'm absolutely loving this. And some people will poo-poo it. I guess you could find a way to poo-poo it. Dude, one more little quick thing, actually, before we kind of wrap up stuff. I thought this was crazy, and I was a little wrong, dude. Remember, I think we touched on it last week a little bit. Hunter Biden and his laptops being exposed versus the timeline of his sister's diary being exposed. I was like, I think it's like 6 or 8 months or something like that, right? That's what I went with.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
That was if we touched on it on this show last week. I know because I touched on it a couple times. But my message was essentially, in the grand scheme of things, in these last 8-10 years, their information got released, roughly 6 or 8 months apart. Was my statement. Well, guess what, dude? I was wrong. It was more like weeks to a month.
Yeah, I think they probably held it. Is that what ended up coming out? They held it back.
Yeah, well, I remember
later.
Yeah, and so they kind of
wouldn't it corroborate his laptop if it came out? So they purposely held it back.
Yep, and so the guy that I bought my current vehicle off of. This is actually a funny story. He's an ex-Democrat, ex-vegetarian, and I was like, "Oh, libtard," and his wife goes, "Yeah, we were, what we would consider libtards to the max. That's what we were, but they are no longer." And we were talking about this, and I was talking about the idea, not the idea, or the fact that Hunter Biden slept with his dead brother's wife and then posted said video to Pornhub. And then the guy was like, oh, I didn't hear that. And I'm like, no, I'm telling you, he did. He had a Pornhub site. He had his own account. I said, and the worst part is it was his own dead brother's wife. And, worse that he had sex with his dead brother's wife, that he recorded said video, and then he titled it friggin' Lonely Widow. And it's like, dude, Lonely Widow is lonely because your brother's dead, you scumbag. And so I told him about that, and he's like, oh, no, I'm sure I would have heard about that. No, I can't. No, that would have been the story if that was it. That would have been the whole story. And I'm like, dude, I don't know what to tell you. I said, I remember it, and the only reason I do know for sure is I remember. So here's a text message said individual sent to me later in the day. The most and this is clearly AI. The most salacious aspects of the Hunter Biden laptop scandal seems to mostly check out. There's no direct proof nor a confession from Hunter or Haley Biden, but neither have denied the videotaping nor posting it to Pornhub either. It seems that it was deliberately suppressed on social media. Twitter and Facebook blocked links and limited the reach of people posting about it. In October of 22, and mainstream legacy media outlets downplayed or avoided the most graphic personal items, focusing on the business dealings, influence peddling, and Russian disinformation. When more details came out in 2022, they were treated like tabloid fodder or old news rather than front page material in all media that isn't specifically conservative. The conservative media does the same. So this is his part of it. The conservative media does the same ish too to make our side look good as well. And then he said people think that the people in China don't get real news about their country, but the same stuff happens in America, which I agree with. But so dude, I remember specifically. So no AI is going to tell me that no, Hunter Biden didn't do this and he didn't do this, because I remember it. You can't take that off of my memory. It's not going to happen. Scumbag. But dude, I say all that to essentially bring up my other point, which is not by accident. None of the Hunter Biden laptop, hard drives, any of that stuff was by accident. And her diary, whoops, I left it at a bed and breakfast or a hotel or whatever, or it was stolen. Nope. Purposely done and exactly laid out, exactly the way it happened for a purpose. That's my personal opinion, Mac.
Nice.
So
Hunter's like on like this denial, like I can't stand it. He's acting like everything he did was because he was a drug addict, but he's not owning up to what he did, which is part of it was rig an election and destroy our country. So he's acting like he didn't have any part in that. I think he's like, you got to prove it, and it's like, bro, he was working directly with the CCP. I mean, I don't know what the documents of Marco Polo, why they haven't been really looked at criminality wise, but I could see some.
Oh God! Now people are doing Hunter Biden timestamps. Future proves past. You have more than you know. I see the future and we win. All right, let's try to decode it. 8:49.
Well, didn't Hugh mention that Hunter Biden had he despised his father and he did the laptop essentially on purpose?
It was heavily implied. Something about, lifestyle. Why is Hunter not in jail? I mean, if I'm going off memory, it was
Keep going
implied.
down.
Oh, I'm going.
It was there. Yeah.
Something along of those who provided Hunter with underage girls, same people who took the picture, bribes and blackmail, death blow, elite little box. Do you believe it was a coincidence surgical removal of YouTube accounts occurred the same day as Hunter drop? Oh, God, by the way, guys, I was part of this surgical removal on October 15th, 2020, because the New York Post article about Hunter Biden's laptop came out on October 14th, 2020. Very specifically, I remember that. And this is 3 days later, or 4 days later. Wait, 2 days later, geez. Chanel Rion saw some of this stuff. Talking about how bad it looks. Worth remembering, underage women sexually exploited. Future, he did collectively. Makes more sense.
I don't know why we can't find this, but I don't know.
Just a regular dude. He's just a regular guy, bro. Just a regular guy.
Yeah, he was involved in crazy stuff. Ukraine, they took bribes from, there it is, there's one. But I can't remember, can't find the post that implies that he was not happy with Pops.
Dude, I'm like starting to put it like it literally like just hit me as soon as I looked at it this time. Hunters Become the Hunted. Hunter's laptop story literally came out in October. Hunt for Red October. It came out October 14th, 2020. Hunters Red October, because, you know, like you said, every time we have an October surprise, and I'd say we got a couple of them that year. Let's see. But yeah, it said something like, you know, did he like living like this? Or, you know, must have been hard for him to live like this, or something along those lines of timing is everything. How do you remove a liability? Not another 4-year election.
Oh well. Oh well, we tried.
We're almost we're almost at the end.
I don't want to drag this on for people listening or just. But it came out. I think Signal chats during a lot of the protests or whatever had part of communications. Do you have anything on that?
Signal chats? No, I did not.
The secret Signal chats reveal how anti-ICE agitators coordinated network riots.
Oh goodness. Well, you know, they're mapping, you know, Antifa supposedly years ago, and I'm sure they're doing the same with the newest, you know, fair group of folks that are out there as well.
It's a pretty interesting. Here, I'll drop the article for you. They found 70 groups taking money from 501c3s and 501c4s, as well as labor unions and nonprofits. So it's a very interesting article that's unraveling how these networks have been working.
Yeah,
essentially how they've been using our
much.
taxpayer money to run these ops on us. Yeah.
So much, dude. It's so much fraud, and it's being exposed at record levels, dude. So I'm loving what we're seeing out here for sure right now. Let me just thank a couple of folks out here. Texas Tan Girl, thank you. Oh, actually, nope. I will thank you, but thank you there. Dawn M. West, thank you for gifting out a subscription to the channel. I greatly appreciate that, and thank you. Texas Tan Girl, thank you also for gifting out 5 subscriptions to the channel. Those are definitely very helpful. The gifted subs are. And then D Starboy dropped the $5 Rumble rant. Says, "You about ready to tee off?" And Mac, I've been telling you, dude. PGA Tour 2K25. It's a hell of a game. So yeah, and actually, I might go live. I might do some live premium in a little bit. So maybe 45 past the next hour, or in about 52, 53 minutes. I'm gonna probably go on there and do some golfing. So go grab that game, dude. It's a hell of a blast. He's like, all right, but yeah. So anything else? Any other big stories that are coming to the top of your head that we missed before we go?
It was
always
disclosed
something.
Stanford received, link donations to the CCP. Gold has passed the U.S. Treasury. That gold reserve overtakes the U.S. Treasury, which is interesting.
Now, what does that mean?
I'll get the article. As far as reserve.
Oh,
so
okay.
instead of it being the dollar, now it's gold.
43.
The way I read it.
Is it back to 4,300 now? Because I know gold and silver both took a, or somewhat of a dive.
I posted it in the chat. As I dig it up. If you can find that, there's a couple other things.
Well, I got one that's showing 4,300 as of like right now.
Yeah, Trump signed an EO that for AI cyber defense, and anybody that didn't know, AI falls under the Department of Energy, which is
Oh,
good.
Q team.
Yeah, so AI is going to fall under Department of Energy, and I'm sure all these companies that have a power source that they're going to be using is going to fall under DOE as well.
There you go. I found
Uh,
your article there, buddy. Let me pop it up here. Ding, ding, ding. No, not you. You.
and
Ding.
then at the same time, while this has occurred, Bitcoin's crashed to like $60,000. Um,
Quite
I'm
a
not
bit.
sure where everyone's investing, if it's going to the stock market, if they're switching over and buying gold, but I don't know if the corrupt are cashing in because they're
Mm-mm.
running out of money. I don't know, but seems to be related. I don't know. What do you
People
think?
are people squirreling away money for SpaceX IPO?
It's possible. That's
That's a
another
lot of
thing.
money, though, right? Yeah, that's a lot of money to be
I don't
doing.
know how much I don't know what it takes to get in early, but I'm sure it's a lot. I think they
2,000.
allowed. Is it? Yeah, I think they dropped it from like 100,000 to 2,000. But
Yeah, it used to be huge. You used to have like, I think you had to have a 500,000 or something like that, like you're saying, 250,000 or whatever. But they reduced it to, some of them are 2,000, some of them are 2,500 that you can buy it ahead of time. I just wish I had an extra, $5,000 or whatever to spend. I would buy anything I could of that, because it's gonna, in my opinion, it's gonna skyrocket. But again, all this stuff could also be people. Yeah, that guy Saylor or whatever the other day sold 20 million or whatever in Bitcoin that he said he'd never sell, and then maybe some people are trying to sell off some of this Bitcoin stuff and for the funding, because the NGOs are shitting the bed lately, and they're not being productive as well as they would have hoped, for sure. We're blocking this. Secret signal chats reveal how anti-ICE agitators coordinated Newark riots. Yeah, and they did pretty good over there, guys. But we got our look at Asra Q Nomadi. Interesting. Users with secret monikers organized medic supplies, including respirators, pepper spray, and protective pads. We even had, I think Nick Sorter was walking through one of these as undercover last week. So yeah, it's a lot of craziness going on out there, guys, and we will never apparently get to all of it in one show, because guess what? There's just too much going on. But I'm heading over to the old foxhole, or aka pilled.net, where all of you guys should be, where Too Manyism dropped a nummy cookie. Thank you for that, Too Manyism. And then One Thunder dropped a can. Appreciate that, One Thunder. And the last one, Moonbaby0437 with the cookie, says, "What up, famalam?" And I'll add to that. What up, Famalama Ding Dong? And I got to raid somebody. So if you guys know anybody who's live now, or is going to be live at 10 o'clock, let me know and I will raid them. Otherwise, I will try to find a conservative-based show. Can you show us what golf game, what your tag name is online? Yes, you can find me with Space Shot 76 would be my name. Send me an email, spaceshot76 at Proton Mail. And I'll put a link in there for you so you can see exactly what it is. But it's just PGA 2K25 is the actual game itself, guys. So lots of fun. I had lots of fun with it, and it's a lot different from shooting and killing people in the game. So I'll just put this up on the screen just so you can. Just so you guys can see the title here or whatever. But Mr. Mac, any parting words for the crew and ladies and gentlemen out there on our way out, sir?
Great show. Thanks to everybody that stopped in and checked us out. I think you said we got rated. I really don't know what that means. I think you say
They took all our money.
But thanks for the raids. Appreciate always having me on. I keep our eyes out on some dates here. I'm looking forward to this Steven Spielberg movie. Wondering
Yeah.
what he's going to. I think that's gonna be a conversation piece. The next, I think they're threatening to. A couple people threatening to declass their own videos of UFOs, etc. If the next tranche is not up to par.
Hell
So
yeah.
I think that I'm looking forward to that portion, and then Halsey, I want her to be starting to starting to fire away some stuff. So looking forward to the next week, and I guess I'll see you on the flip side. But thanks
Yes,
again.
sir. Absolutely. Yeah, great show as usual, dude. I'm just going to put this in the chat. I think it was on Rumble or Pilled, or excuse me, Rumble or YouTube, but here it is, PGA Tour 2K25. Bring back the rubbish. Bring back the rubbish. Airman 66 CES. What's the rubbish? What's the rubbish? I don't know what that means. Do you mean Lisa? Because she said rubbish sometimes? That's not us. We're not forcing anybody to not come. Lisa's doing good stuff in her life right now. So when she comes back, she comes back. If that's what you mean by rubbish. I think she used to say rubbish a little bit, right? I don't know.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you guys all for hanging out with us. I will be live back with the guys tomorrow, which I think I'm going to change I'm going to see if maybe going forward we can bump that one a little later. So that way I can tell folks later on, catch me live Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at 1 p.m. and Monday and Tuesday at 7 p.m. But I will be live with the guys tomorrow at 6 p.m. with Ghost, Mike, and Jeff and Armando. I'm not sure if Jeff's coming or not, but we will be live at 6 p.m. Eastern time. Hope you guys can join us. Mac, again, great show as usual. And always thank you to the mods. We do greatly appreciate all of your help. And for all of you, we do appreciate each and every one of you wonderful world patriots for tuning in out there. And until that next one, thumbs up, like, and subscribe. Peace.
Hello, guys. Something special is happening in here. That's right, it's Brackets and Jackets, bringing it back for Brackets and Jackets, special Epstein Island edition. That's right, folks, Epstein, Jeffrey Epstein, the man with the island, which is suspiciously close to Haiti. That's right. You see this man, Jeffrey Epstein, is funding lots of people. He's funding lots of people on the street to make sure his shit doesn't get out. That's right. They want the record sealed. And they're paying a lot of people. Epstein's paying a lot of people. Oh, boy. For one, he's got a whole Mossad media matrix in America. And I would bet you anything that Alex Jones is one of them. Prove me wrong. That's right, Cappy's in the portal. Cappy's in the portal. Cappy's in the building with songs about Epstein. It's Breakfast Jackets Epstein edition. Guys, I had some epiphanies today. I had some real big epiphanies about some guys. A big network of guys and spies and lies and liars. All right, think about this for a minute, okay? The guy in Portland, the scientist that just got busted for producing CP, that guy is 1 degree of separation away from Epstein. Epstein, the investor that lives in West Palm Beach, Florida. I know a guy who lives in West Palm Beach, Florida as well. Investor as well. Also involved as well. And all is not well with these guys. The Florida boys, the Glow boys, the Scott Israels of the world. You see, Epstein is Hillary Clinton. And Epstein is Haiti. And Epstein is a big network of media assets. By the way, did you know that Steve Bannon was going to that guy for money? Also, Epstein is Epstein Oprah. Epstein is Chris Tucker. You remember him. Epstein is also Kevin Spacey. Epstein is also Prince Andrew. Epstein is also... Who else is Epstein? Who else is Epstein? Tell me. You guys know? Who else is Epstein? Is Epstein Big Pharma? Is Epstein Brian Singer? Is Epstein Naomi Campbell? Yep, all of the above. All of the above. Who is Epstein? Epstein is the keystone of a whole motherfucking matrix. And once you pull it out, it all falls down. Dersh was there too. That's right, we're dropping red pills every day. And red pills in the best kind of way. This is brackets and jackets for the denizens of islands.